Welcome into Dr. Sid Witherington Stadium here on this Friday evening on Tubetown. Thank you so much for joining us here in Munford tonight. There it's a crisp and cool 52 degrees, overcast skies, and the wind blowing about 10 miles an hour. Andy Manus, Ryan Short here with you, ready to broadcast this win and get in football game between the Brighton Cardinals and the Munford Cougars. You see the Brighton Cardinals coming in with a record of 3-6 on the year. All three of those wins, however, coming in conference play. So they are 3-3 on the year in conference. Same as the Munford Cougars, 3-3 on the year. However, they have a 5-4 record overall. But again, the winner of tonight's game will make it into the playoffs, Ryan. A lot riding on the line.
Yeah, I mean, it's another great night to be in Tennessee. We love calling these games. Last time I think it was the Munford-Millington game that we were here on site for. That was a great matchup. That was one of the non-conference wins that Munford ended up getting early in the season. But like you said just a moment ago, as far as conference is concerned in that 5A Region 8, the only wins that both of these teams have to their credit is Kingsbury, Overton, and Bolton. So if you're looking for a measuring stick coming into this game to figure out who has the upper hand, there's really not much to compare.
There's really not, and you look at the way the last 4 games have gone for both teams. Munford has won 1 out of the last 4 games. You look at the Brighton Cardinals, they've split it 2-2, but they've also been shut out in that span of 4 games. They lost a couple of weeks ago to Ridgeway 40-0, and then last week dropped a heartbreaker, a 1-point loss, 15-14 to Southwind. So Brighton, back-to-back losses. They really want to, I think, end the year on a positive note, especially given what a close game last week's game was. Sorry, I got a little tied up there. But Munford, on the other hand, I think they're playing with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder tonight. You got to go all the way back to 2014, the last time the Munford Cougars beat the Brighton Cardinals. They're going to try to do it here tonight in 2018. The opening kickoff taken back by the Brighton Cardinals. They'll move it out to about the 23-yard line, make it the 24, and that's where the Cardinals come out to start tonight's football game.
Echoing off of what you said a second ago, Andy, both these teams in the pregame, it's Munford senior night. They had 80-some-odd seniors that were out on the field. They recognized them, but both of these teams, you could see it in the pregame warm-ups. You could see it as both teams entered the field. They had just tons of excitement and enthusiasm, and these teams know what they're playing for sure.
So Brighton comes out shotgun formation. They'll come out with 3 wide receivers and 1 back in the backfield. Nick Johnson awaiting the snap, sends a man in motion. He'll hand it off, running to the right. And on the carry, Andrew Brooks lost the football and fighting for it. Munford might have gotten it on the first play of the game.
Unfortunate right there, trying to fight for extra yards. We're in the Munford press box. You could probably hear that scream of excitement come through our headsets here, but you hate to see that for Brighton.
Well, it looks like the Cougars are going to hold on to the football here. They avoid shooting themselves in the foot. Take another look at the Ritter Communications instant replay here. There's the man in motion. There's the handoff to the right side. And as Ryan said, just trying to fight for extra yardage, one of the Cougars was able to get in there and rip that one away. Here on 2nd and 16 rather. A pass out to the near sideline, caught, take it out to the 20-yard line, and he might have gotten a couple of yards back, but it is still going to be 3rd and 13 coming up for the Cardinals on their opening drive.
That's twice that we've seen Newsom so far, the junior for Brighton coming out. Big impact player for the Cardinals, so just because he's got off to kind of a little bit of a rocky start, don't expect them to not try to utilize him tonight.
Newsom is the #1 receiver for these Brighton Cardinals.
Johnson awaiting the snap. 3 wide receivers on the far side, 1 here on the near side. Look for the screen on the far side perhaps. Nope, they're going to hand it off right up the gut instead. Might have made it back to the original line of scrimmage, but a heady defensive stand by the Munford Cougars to open up their senior night here on Friday evening.
Yeah, you saw Max Lodridge, one of the seniors that came out. They had 11 seniors that were honored here tonight. One of them we're fixing to see come on the field right now on offense. That's that big Noah Robertson that we've seen, it seems like, for the last 17 years as we've been coming here.
4th and 10 from their own 24-yard line. Only about a minute and a half gone by here in the opening quarter. Cougars waiting their chance to get their offense on the field for the first time tonight. There's the punt. Nice kick. Got a pretty good little distance there. It'll take a roll out of bounds at about the 50-yard line. They're going to Are they going to spot it at the 50? They are. So midfield is where the Cougars will come out for their first drive of the night. That's, you obviously like to be closer, but that's pretty good field position.
I mean, you really, as far as marking up the first 4 plays of the game, if you're Munford, you couldn't draw up anything better. First play of the game, you almost had a turnover, and you're going to have the starting field position in the red zone, but 3 and out for your defense, and now this run-oriented offense is going to take the field.
Jay-Sean Adale under center with a back in the backfield. 2 wideouts split out on either side of Adale. There's a man in motion. It'll be a handoff right up the gut. And that was, I believe, Noah Robertson on the carry there, the aforementioned tailback for the Cougars. He's able to pick up about 3 yards on first down, so 2nd and 7 coming up as you see the Cougars and that, I don't know if you call it a wing tee offense or a little bit of a triple option you're going to see them run tonight.
Yeah, we're going to see them line up sometimes like we have right now with 2 wideouts, and the other times they're going to bring everybody inside the box.
Here we go, 2nd and 7. 5 down linemen for the Cardinals. Another handoff right up the gut, and this one will go for about 1.5 yards. So 3rd and 6 coming up now for the Cougars.
This is their bread and butter. It's not surprising to come out here the first possession. Your defense made a good stop, but definitely for Munford, when you've got the juices of senior night rolling through you, they want to make sure that they get the first few plays under center, because when we were here a few weeks ago, it's Millington. It just turnover plagued possession after possession.
See if the Cardinals defense can make a stand here on 3rd down. It's Adale with the keeper across the 40, the 35, 30, drugged down from behind as he crossed the 25-yard line. On the far side, hash marks good enough to pick up a Cougar first down.
Good 21-yard little run right there to be able to get first down for his Cougars, and excellent read right there. They knew that the defensive tackles were going to be crashing middle, faked it to Robertson, and then that hole was wide open on the left side of the line.
Cougars have had the football for a little over a minute here. Now they've moved down close to the red zone of Brighton. They're going to try to move it inside the 20-yard line here. Line to gain is about the 15-yard line. 1st and 10 coming up for the Cougars. Fake the motion, another handoff for Robertson right up the middle. Same play, only you got to see the different option look that time.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to keep going to it right now. They're having success with it. That play's designed 3, 4, 5 yards attack, and if Robertson can keep his legs moving, I mean, that's just going to open up their whole offense.
Again, you see the Cardinals lined up with 5 down linemen, and they've got their secondary just playing straight across 5 yards deep. So total of 9 guys in the box here for the Cardinals trying to guard against that run. And this time it looks like the motion got the Cardinals to jump off sides.
Yeah, I mean, when you're trying to read that progression that the quarterback's going through each time, that's going to happen. And you can definitely tell that Munford came out here with a purpose tonight. They have just absolutely dialed up every play that they've needed to get yardage, and right there is a good play call as well. Yeah,
4 plays so far here on this opening drive for Munford, and they have moved inside the red zone now, 1st and 10 from the 15. Again, they fake the motion. It'll be Adale on the keeper. And Jay-Sean going to move it out to about the 10-yard line. Nice little pickup of about 5 yards. Looks like they'll spot him just shy of that, Ryan, maybe 4 yards.
Yeah, I think they're going to give him 4 yards on that one. And this is something, as far as defensively for Brighton tonight, what we're going to see is when those wingbacks that are lined up over or the tackle or the tight end, whenever that motion starts coming in, let's say it's from the right side, the left side linebacker is going to start instantly coming forward. You saw it right there on the hard count, but Adel ended up keeping it and just shooting through that wide gap.
Robertson in the backfield. Again, split wide receivers, one on either side for Adale. There's the motion fake. It'll be a handoff to Robertson. Robertson will get down to the 10-yard line, a nice little pickup of about 3 yards. So 3rd and manageable now coming up for the Cougars. They don't have to score a touchdown to reset the chains.
No, and right now they're just going to keep doing this, and clock management is something that you'll definitely see from Munford. If they get a lead, if they get a couple touchdowns up, don't expect them to take their foot off the gas necessarily, but they're definitely going to use their offensive play calling to their advantage.
A shade under 7 minutes left to play in the first quarter. Adale again under center. There's the motion fake.
A lot of defensive reads that you have right here, watching linemen, watching backs, trying to figure out where the ball's going.
It's a keeper. Adale across the 10, stretching for the goal line, and he is in. Cougars score on the opening drive of the night to take a 6-0 lead over their rival, the Brighton Cardinals. 6:36 left to play in the first quarter. Look at this option keeper.
Good read, keeping out of Robertson's pocket, getting hit about the 3-4 yard line, but able to dive in there. Big body, he was able to stretch it in, across the goal line. Great drive right there for the Cougars to get started in Nick Markle's team.
That's a 7-play, 50-yard drive for the Munford Cougars. The extra point attempt is no good, so the score will remain 6-0. Again, following a 9-yard touchdown rush from quarterback Jay-Sean Adele, the senior, leading his Cougars down the field on their opening drive to take a lead over their rivals. We're back with more here on Tubetown, live local from Ritter Communications. Andy Manus, Ryan Short back here with you. The kickoff following that Munford Cougar touchdown to make it 6-0 is a short pooch kick taken by the Cardinals. The return man dropped at the 40-yard line. So here come the Brighton Cardinals one more time.
Yeah, definitely wanting to get their legs back under them. First drive, I think that that fumble, I mean, they had positive yardage on every play except for the first one where that fumble dropped them back 9 yards. So look for them to not be weathered long.
Here's Nick Johnson, takes a low snap, he'll hand it off, running to the right, big hole to run through, bowls over a defender as he crosses the 50-yard line. Does Andrew Brooks, the senior tailback, showing off his age.
Man, he hit the hole hard right there. I mean, it was second level before anybody got a hand on him. You can tell that the safety on that side was definitely not expecting him whenever he came through that line, but looks like Brighton's going to end up having to shoot themselves in the foot on this one.
Yep, it'll be against the Cardinals. It'll be one of the offensive linemen. Take a look at the instant replay there. Well, maybe not. Either way, that one will be backed up, and it'll be first and now 25, I believe. It should be, no, first and 20, beg your pardon.
Yeah, you hate to see that, especially. It looked like good interior blocking there. I mean, obviously, silly penalty right there. It wasn't hold or anything like that, so that hands to the face can definitely be prevented going out.
Here's Johnson on a keeper on the option play, and he might have picked up maybe a yard, but driven backwards, and it'll be second and long coming up now for the Cardinals.
Brighton's doing everything in their power right now to not move the ball down the field, shooting themselves in the foot. Hopefully they can get some type of conversion here. They got two plays to get it done.
Second and 20 coming up. One wide receiver lined up here on the near side. That's looks like Bailey Howard. Oh, beg your pardon, Keontae Newsom lined up here at the 30-yard line on the near side. They're looking to throw to the far side. Little curl route right through the hands of the intended receiver. Looks like Solomon Davis, the senior wideout, was the intended target from Johnson, and he threw it a bit too high there, Ryan.
A bit too high, double coverage on that far side. And that's a long pass, running like a 7-8 yard out to the far side. I like the idea there, trying to move the ball, testing the secondary. But now with that incomplete pass, you've put your offense in a situation where they're looking at 3rd and 19 now.
Newsom is lined up here over on the near side once again. Nobody on top of him either. Looking for a little screen pass to Newsom at the 30, caught. Makes his way to the 35-yard line. Interesting play there on the wide receiver screen. It wasn't a bubble screen. It was one where the wide receiver cuts to the middle of the field.
Yeah, and I think the Munford defense had snuffed it out from the very beginning because you could see how slow developing that play was right there. And unfortunately, it's going to be the second, third, and out for Brighton.
Yeah, 4th and 15 coming up now for the Cardinals. They'll keep Nick Johnson out on the field as he's the team's punter as well. So you could see him pull a fake here as they've got their quarterback in at the punter position. But we'll see if they elect to just boot this one away, and that's what they're going to do. Nice punt from Johnson. Will go over the 40, take a Cardinal roll down to about the 30-yard line, and that's where it'll stop. And here come the Cougars once again after the second 3-and-out from the Brighton Cardinals.
Brighton's going to have to dial up something on defense. It seemed like Munford on their first drive really had no friction as they were moving the ball down the field. Basically able to do exactly what their offense is designed to do, and that's 3 or 4 yard chunks with a few larger runs in there that we saw that Adele was able to pick up by keeping it, not handing it off to Robertson. For Brighton to stay in this game, they come in with that 3-3 record just like Munford in conference, but they definitely are going to have to pick it up if they want to play for that last spot.
1st and 10, it's a handoff, a little stutter step move, and ball taken out to about the 34-yard line, and I want to say that might have been Travion Hawkins on the carry.
Yeah,
I believe it was.
That's going to be his first carry for the night. He's been the guy that we've been seeing going in motion each play. That's that wrinkle in their offense that causes a lot of movement going before the ball's ever snapped, especially with defensive keys trying to prepare where the ball's going. So look for him to continue to play his role. If it's not with the ball in his hands, he's definitely causing some confusion.
2nd and 6 now coming up. Again, they use motion, but here's Adele on the keeper to the 50, the 40, 35-30, down the near sideline. One man left to beat. He's going to score. No flags out on the field, and Jay-Sean Adele with a 66-yard touchdown run for another 6 points.
Brighton is really going to have to find an answer for this because they've been able to do this without any resistance so far. You see him, he came through the line there, and as soon as he broke through the secondary, great blocking all the way down the field. That's going to be Dalton Allen, the receiver that was on the near side that basically led him to the promised land.
Now here is Jesse Savage on to attempt the extra point, and he put that one through. So now the score 13-0. Munford leading Brighton here in the first quarter after a 66-yard touchdown rush from senior quarterback Jay-Sean Adele. We're back with more here on Tubetown, live local from Ritter Communications. Witherington Stadium. This was a 66-yard touchdown rush from Jay-Sean Adele on the option keeper moments ago to make it 30-0. He had made his way to the outside, and he was pretty much gone after that. And now the Cougars kick it off again. Another short kickoff taken at the 35-yard line. The return man dodged one defender, and the rest of the special teams unit from Munford will catch up to him at about the 40-yard line.
Good starting field position for Brighton. I've been near this spot of the field a couple times tonight, but the first play of each drive so far has just really set the tone and shot themselves in the foot. I know you're down 13-0 right now, but really I anticipate Brighton to keep the ball on the ground right here, just trying to get some plays of positive yardage under their belt.
They've had 2 penalties so far here tonight, have the Cardinals. Fumbled the ball once, but they were lucky enough to fall on top of it. Now here they go 1st and 10. Again, that's Brooks on the carry. Makes his way between the center and left guard, and he will pick up about 4 yards there on 1st down. So 2nd and 6 now coming up. Seems like anytime they hand it to Brooks, he's had some success running the ball outside of that initial fumble. And I believe that might be Joe Williamson now in the backfield there. So Williamson standing to the left. He'll take the handoff. He's going to follow his blockers ahead. And he will get down to about the 49-yard line. They'll spot him a bit shy of that. It looks like they'll spot him at the 48. So 3rd and 2 to go. They got to get down to the 50.
There's no need to go away from that play right here. They've had success every time they've ran it. Penalties obviously got in their way on the previous drives, but right now they need to just keep the ball on the ground and try to work their way in to get their first down of the game.
Newsom again lined up here on the near side. And it will again be Joe Williamson in the backfield. Johnson takes the snap, hands it off to Williamson. He makes his way to the line of scrimmage, but a big effort from the defensive unit out there on the field for the Cardinals the Cougars rather, will push the tailback backwards. He's going to be about
just short, Andy.
Yeah, going to be about a half yard short, so 4th and inches coming up now.
Be interesting to see what they do right here, being the fact that the your punter is your quarterback. You can come out right now and hit a hard count, and if it doesn't, you can just audible back, and you may see a little pooch kick right here coming from Johnson. I mean, they may go for it. They've had success so far.
Going to go for it. Had to get down to get the snap. Johnson's going to take it himself. Taken down awkwardly. It looks from the spot they gave him the first down, but from where we're sitting, it looked like he might have been stopped short.
Man, it was awfully close right there. And when Johnson was, when Johnson was being tackled, take a look right here. He came down very awkwardly, kind of wrapped over the Munford defenders, and it was awfully close. His body landed past the yard of gain, but he may have been down right before. And either way, we could speculate now. It's 1st and 10. Brighton got what they've been searching for this whole time, which is that first down of the game.
Yep. And that looked like it looked like he was able to keep his knee off of the turf and move the chains. Here's a 1st and 10 carry from Williamson. He'll take it right up the gut, good for another 4 yards. 2nd and 6 coming up. Brighton is again having some success with this run game between Williamson and Brooks.
Yeah, I mean, this drive so far has been pretty impressive. What Brighton really needed to get started here. Watch the Munford defense, though. Every time that he's coming through the line right there, I noticed it a minute ago when Brooks was going through the line, but also when Williamson is too. They're trying to strip that ball.
Bailey Howard, the fullback up ahead, blocking for Williamson. Williamson again hits the line of scrimmage, and he's not going to pick up maybe half a yard there. So 3rd and 6 now coming up as we're under a minute left to play here in the first quarter. Cardinals trailing by 13.
Rolled.
It has. We've kept the ball on the ground. Each team has had a couple of possessions under their belt. This is the 3rd possession of the night for the Cardinals. And only 2 first downs to their credit so far here tonight. Now under 30 seconds left to play. And here come the Cardinals ready to run this 3rd down play. Newsome lined up here on the near side. 1 wide receiver on the far side. It looks like it's Solomon Davis. Johnson ready to snap. Play action, looking to throw. Pump fake, steps up in the pocket. I don't know how he avoided trouble, but now he's going to tuck it and run across the 45. Juke move across the 40. Somehow Nick Johnson picked up a 1st down.
I think that play lasted over 30 seconds between him evading tacklers, as you see right here. He takes the read. He's looking downfield. He knows he's in trouble, so he gives 1 pump, and that gives him an opportunity to cut through that line. And then right here is just backyard football. Head up, being able to fall forward for positive yards. He picked up about 7 or 8 on the play, so that's going to be the end of the first quarter, Andy.
What an unbelievable run by Johnson to end the first quarter. We're headed to the second. Still Cardinal football. It'll be 1st and 10 Brighton when we come back here in the second quarter. You're watching tonight's game on Tubetown, live local from Ritter Communications.
From Ritter, enroll today to keep what matters most protected tomorrow.
Andy Maness and Ryan Short welcome you back to Dr. Sid Witherington Stadium here in Munford, where the Cougars popped out to a 13-0 lead over the Brighton Cardinals. After 1 quarter of play, it was 2 touchdown rushes from Jayshon Adele that gave the Cougars the lead in the first quarter. But the Cardinals, at the end of the first quarter, have gotten a little bit of momentum underneath their belt. 3 first downs now. They converted a 4th down play and 2 third down plays to put them into Cougar territory, and now they'll have it 1st and 10 on the other side of the 40-yard line. Looks like they've spotted the ball at about the 39.
The Cougars over 100 yards of offense on the ground already for them so far. Most of that coming off that big play that we saw from Adel. But right now, Brighton's been able to get some things going. And, I mean, if it continues, I really anticipate this being a pretty run-oriented game tonight.
Shotgun formation again for the Cardinals. Johnson takes a low snap, looking to throw. Got plenty of time. Now he's going to roll out, tosses it over the middle. Caught. Newsome at the 30-yard line, still on his feet. Try to get low and bowl over one defender as he got to the 25-yard line. I think they're going to spot him right at the 26, but, man, when it rains, it pours for the Cardinals. That's the third penalty tonight, the second that has negated a first down.
See it right here. I think it was number 74.
Yep, there it was, 74 right in front of Johnson.
Jackson Kelly, he holding the defensive end there. I mean, way to improvise. I mean, by the Brighton offense. I mean, that's promising as far as how your offense is going. They've been able to gain positive yards. They just got to clean it up.
Oh, look at this. We're going to replay the down now as a penalty was called on the Cougars as well. We missed what that one was.
It may have been hands to the face. I know if they're looking for it, and they've already called it once in a high school game, I'm sure they're definitely going to be looking for it for the rest of the night. So those may have been negating right there where it was holding and hands to the face.
So 3 penalties for the Cougars, flip that. The Cardinals have 3 penalties. The Cougars have 1. I'm getting my mascots mixed up here tonight. First and 10 after the offsetting penalties. 3 wide receivers lined up here on the near side. Newsome lined up over on the far side, but they'll hand it off right up the middle, and a first down carry all the way out to about the 31-yard line. And again, that was Joe Williamson on the carry there. And it'll be 2nd and short now coming up, about 2nd and 4 to go.
Yeah, since he's come in, and when Brooks went out, we've definitely seen a new life to that offense. Whenever he hits that hole, he's if anything, he's going to fall forward at least for 1 or 2.
They'll stick to the same formation. 3 wide receivers here on the near side, 1 on the far side. Their big man, Keontae Newsome, the junior, lined up over there on the far sideline. There's the snap, play action, throw over the middle, caught at the 20, the 15, the 10, and he is spun around by his shoulder pads, and it'll be a 1st and goal situation coming up, but I think I saw a flag fly out at the end of that play maybe. No, I didn't.
Good 12-yard pitch and catch right here. Simple slant route. Had to wait for it to develop a little bit, but then just simply making a man miss and being able to get downfield.
Perfect timing, too, because you got Keontae Newsome running a slant from the left, and he was able to block that defensive back perfectly as soon as his teammate caught the ball. Tyler Burnett, the receiver, to bring that one inside the 10-yard line. And with 10:20 left to play here in the second quarter, it's Nick Johnson stepping up with a big throw. 9 yards to go. Munford bringing pressure. Johnson throws it. His receiver turned around to go get it, and he caught it inside the 5-yard line. And that was Newsome who turned around to go get that one, and it'll now be 2nd and goal from inside the 5.
That's just athleticism from Newsome right there to know to go and spot the ball and go up and get it, because that play was completely dead from the very beginning with that blitzer coming unblocked.
Yeah, Johnson, got to give him some credit, too, the junior quarterback standing in there and taking the hit as he threw. Williamson still in the backfield. Nick Johnson ready with the play now. 1 wide receiver on either side. They've brought in a couple extra blockers, looking to go to Newsome over in the far corner. Tossed it up, couldn't bring it in. A bit too deep for Keontae Newsome.
This is 4-down territory right here, so just giving your best receiver a chance to go up and make a play right there. He's been kind of quiet since that first catch that he had, or the 2 catches that he's had so far, so trying to get him involved as well in this offense, as they've really constructed a really nice drive right here.
Yeah, this will be the 10th play of this drive coming up. They've taken it nearly 60 yards.
Notice the play or the game clock. Okay, it just stopped. It was running after the incompleted pass there for a while.
Run a few seconds off there. 3 wide receivers set here. 1 back in the backfield. It's Williamson looking to throw. Oh, my goodness. It hit the defender right in the hands, but he wasn't ready for it, so he dropped it. The Cougars missing a chance to get an interception in the end zone. Take another look at Johnson. Johnson trying to hit his man on the out route here. It goes over his head, and right there the defensive back was not looking for it at all.
That's Lark, the junior, and the only problem with that ball is that it hit him right in the chest, and he didn't hold on to it right there. I mean, he had good defense on the exterior. He had his receiver covered, but as soon as that ball came through there, I think it kind of surprised him a little bit.
So now we are going to get a timeout from the Brighton Cardinals with 9:11 left to play here in the first half. They want to talk some things over on 4th and goal from the 4. We'll be back in a moment. We're going to pay some homage to our great sponsors here on Tubetown. We're back with more right after this.
How much bandwidth will satisfy your home's hunger? The average household now has more wireless devices in use a day than ever before, including TVs, laptops, tablets, and smartphones. HD streaming and gaming can use large amounts of data and slow down speeds for other users. The more devices you use, the more bandwidth your home needs. So make sure you have enough bandwidth. Get up to 100 megs with internet from Ritter Communications. It's the speed you need to power all your devices. Call today.
Andy Maness and Ryan Short welcome you back to Munford, where the Cougars hanging on to a 13-0 lead, but it is 4th and goal from the 4-yard line for the Brighton Cardinals. They wanted to take a timeout, their first of the first half, and had to talk some things over. I know they want to make sure that they can punch it in, and Coach Robin Jacobs wants to talk some things over.
Yeah, I really don't understand the play call there from Brighton as they've got into the red zone inside the 5-yard line, back-to-back passing plays, which has now put them in a 4th and 4 situation. I think obviously they're going to go for it right here, but they've had success all drive. I mean, you mentioned a second ago that this is a well-sustained drive, and they just have completely ditched the run once they've got this close to the end zone.
Yeah, they took over with 3:41 left to play in the first quarter, and now with 9:11 left to play in the second quarter, shows you how long they've had the football. But Munford didn't like what they saw on defense, so now they're going to burn a timeout as well. Each team with 2 remaining here in the first half. We'll go ahead and step aside one more time and come back with a 4th and goal situation from the 4 with 9:11 left to play here in the second quarter on Tubetown. Live local from Ritter Communications.
No matter what kind of business you own or operate, you need to keep it connected. Ritter Communications delivers the fastest business internet speeds available at a price that won't slow you down. Ritter offers reliable 24-hour service with network monitoring, along with the scalable options your business needs to grow. And we do it all on our own fiber optic network. The choice is yours, and so is the savings. Connect to something better. Call or visit ritterbusiness.com today.
Welcome back to Dr. Sid Witherington Stadium. 13-0 is your score. The Cougars leading the Brighton Cardinals, but Cardinals with an opportunity to score here on 4th and goal from the 4-yard line. 4 wide receivers set with 1 back in the backfield. Johnson ready for the snap, takes it, rolling to his right, looking to throw, end zone, caught it, touchdown Brighton. Wide open was Solomon Davis in the corner of the end zone, ran a simple little out route, and there was nobody within 5 yards of him.
Yeah, good execution and good play call right there to know where to go. They went with the pass play one more time. And first time we've called Davis's name, I believe, getting involved with the offense, and has a TD to his credit now.
So now Brighton on to attempt the extra point. It is up. And it is through the uprights. So the Cardinals have put on 7 points here with a nice little 11-play drive that went 60 yards. Now they only trail by 6. 13-7 is the score. We're going to go ahead and keep it right here as you take another look at the replay of that touchdown pass to Solomon Davis. Just a great little out route ran by Davis, and he was open in the corner of the end zone.
It's like they forgot about him.
Certainly was. And so now the Cougars get to try taking a kick back, their first kick return of the evening with 9:06 left to play in the second quarter. Again, that drive by Brighton took quite a few minutes off the game clock there. Finished out the first quarter with 3:41 left to play, and then brought it all the way down to 9:06 to play here in the second.
Hopefully Brighton's defense, while they were over there on the sideline, was able to get some things straight as far as addressing this Munford offense.
They seem to have done so on that last drive. Here's a low line drive kick touched by the return man, picked up at the 10-yard line. Now the 15, the 20. It's Travion Hawkins who will be driven down about the 21-yard line, and this will be the worst starting field position for the Cougars here in tonight's football game.
Somebody's name we haven't called yet tonight that I really expected to see more action from is Jesse Savage. He usually runs at that wide receiver spot, and he definitely played a part in the Millington game that we were here for earlier in the year. He's a two-way starter. He's really active on defense, but look for them to get him involved somehow in this offense on this drive.
Another two wide receiver look here as Adele is under center. He's going to check down, it looks like. Sends a man in motion. He'll hand it off to Robertson. Robertson will cross the 25-yard line, but won't get much further than that. But a pickup of 4 on first down means 2nd and 6 coming up now for the Cougars.
Yeah, I mean, right here, with 9 minutes left on the clock, they could easily eat all of this up in a well-sustained drive. That is, if they don't break off another 66-yard run.
Yeah, that big run by Adele, that was a 2-play, 70-yard drive that took only 1 minute off the clock in the first quarter.
And half of it was him running.
Half of it was indeed him getting to the goal line. 2nd and 6 coming up. There's the motion. There's the handoff to Robertson, and he will pick up another couple yards, so it'll be 3rd and manageable now coming up. And that's not a bad position to be in if you're the Cougars. That's kind of what their game plan has been all night long. Just get, 3-4 yards here and there on 1st and 2nd down, and you've got a 3rd and easy gain set up for you.
Yeah, it's not uncommon to see a lot of 3rd down plays for Munford.
Brighton bringing everybody into the box. There's the handoff. Nope, Adele's going to keep it himself. Bouncing to the outside 35-40, 45-50, and he'll run out of bounds, but not before moving the chains once again for the Munford Cougars.
That has been the absolute kryptonite for Brighton. As soon as they go, you see the corner right there, Darian Lewis, the defensive end right there. He's collapsing every time Robertson runs up the middle, and basically that's just giving a free lane for Adele to go right around the corner.
Yeah, let's take one more look at that replay if we can, because when Adele rips the ball out of the running back's hands, he's got 3 defenders on the line of scrimmage that are just completely frozen, and he runs right by them. 1st and 10 coming up from the 50. Right at midfield on the near side hash marks, a man goes in motion. Same play, but they're going to hand it off this time to Robertson on the option, and he'll pick up about 2 yards. And now 2nd and 8 coming up. Here's that replay moments ago. Watch as Adele pulls it out of the pocket. 3 defenders there on the end. Well, that was the play just a moment ago, but again, this option offense for the Cougars has been causing some problems for the Cardinals here tonight, and they have been sticking 9 guys in the box every play, but it's not stopping the Cougars whatsoever.
Not at all.
2nd and 7 coming up. Fake the motion. It's Adele on the keeper. Bowls over a man at the line of scrimmage, and he'll make his way down near the 1st down marker, but he'll still have a couple yards to go, so 3rd and short coming up. Boy, he just knows how to get low like a tailback and bowl people over. Here's that option play moments ago. You saw the 3 guys on the end just completely freeze, and Adele sprints down the sideline. Did the same thing on that play just moments ago as he was able to pick up a couple of yards running to the right side. So now 3rd and 3 coming up.
Brighton needs to stop right here.
Travion Hawkins lined up on the far right side. He's going to go in motion here. Chops his feet. He'll head back, and actually that's going to be, I believe, Lamarius Payne over there.
It's interesting, the center for Munford, he's also giving a generous nod of the head whenever they do that hard count.
Adele on the keeper once again, trying to get to the 40-yard line. Got a defender dragging him backwards by his jersey, but I think from the referee's spot he got there.
I think he did, and you see right there the guy we mentioned a second ago, Darian Lewis, on this right side for Brighton. He'd been sucked up every play before, but right there he read the read, and then he came up to the outside and was able to hit him behind the line of scrimmage. He hit Adele behind the line of scrimmage, just dragged Lewis 4 yards for the first down.
Well, and Lewis looks like the bigger player of the two as well, but again, as you said, Adele just keeps his feet moving and able to drive the ball down the field. Ball spotted on the near side hash mark at the Brighton 40-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Cougars, trying to score again here before halftime. 5:38 left to play as Adele surveys the defense. Now it looks like he's ready. Here goes a man in motion. It's a triple option. It's Hawkins on the carry, I believe. And he's going to move out to the 35-yard line, make it the 34, but we got a flag down at the 40-yard line as we take a look at the Ritter Communications replay. There's the man in motion. There's the double option there, I should say, as he could have handed it off to the left or the right. It was Hawkins taking it to the right, but a holding penalty, I believe, is going to bring this one back here. Nope, it's going to be an illegal shift on the Munford Cougars. So backing it up 5 yards, they'll replay the down. Just the second penalty tonight on the Cougars. The first one was an offsetting, so they have been able to play pretty disciplined so far here tonight.
First time we've seen that misdirection play from Munford, but that's one that we know that they practice a lot. So as this game progresses, I don't – if they need to dive that deep into their playbook, they certainly can.
And again, we mentioned that triple option offense they like to run, and you got to see a little bit of it there. There's Hawkins in motion, but they hand it off to Robertson. Robertson crosses the 40-yard line, and that's the original line of scrimmage, so it'll be now 2nd and 10 coming up. I think is where they're going to spot it.
Yeah, you see when Robertson came up from right there, he did like the Ezekiel Elliott feed me. He knows that he's had success tonight, and he can keep picking up chunks of yards like that, and he needs it right now because this is the worst field position as far as 2nd and 10 that they face tonight.
Yeah, I think this is the longest second down that they've had to convert so far in the football game. Got a great drive going, though. Had it for nearly 5 minutes. Let's see what they do here on a long 2nd and 10. Hawkins goes in motion. They'll fake the handoff. It's a keeper from Adele, and he is hit from behind. So a 3rd and 7 coming up after a pickup of 3 yards.
We were saying Brighton needed that stop a minute ago on 4th down. Well, right now, here's your opportunity. I mean, 3rd and 8 is typically not where this Munford offense tries to live. Have not seen a pass attempt yet from Munford. I don't know if this is the time you want to pull it out as well.
This will be the 7th play of this drive coming up here for Munford. As Ryan said, a long way to go. The longest 3rd down they've had to convert tonight. See if they want to try a hard count and get any extra yardage. They don't. They just hand it off right up the middle. Robertson met immediately, and he might have gained half a yard, if that, but it'll be 4th down coming up for Munford.
Yeah, it's going to be about 4th and 6 here, and you don't know if Munford, they had sort of drew up that play knowing that they're in 4-down territory right here. They're definitely not going to be kicking a field goal, but you're in Cardinal territory, so they may have been anticipating going for this the whole time.
Adele comes back from the sideline. He's got the play from Coach Markle, and now we'll see if they can convert this 4th down play coming up. And again, might try a hard count, might try to get them off sides. They've jumped a couple of times so far tonight. If they can do that, it'll be 4th and 1. We'll see what they do here.
Watch
9 guys in the box.
Nope, he didn't do it that time.
Just run it. Nope, it's Adele running to the outside on the option play. Lost the football, and I think the Cardinals picked it up. They did. So Adele lost the ball. It was 4th down, and he wasn't going to convert anyway.
But it's going to go down as a fumble in the book. So good turnover right there for Brighton. I mean, you see they're definitely excited right here. Once again, those backs getting sucked into the middle, and Adele's just able to bounce it outside. But good tackle right there, way to wrap up by Solomon Davis. He was able to he had that touchdown earlier, and
oh, that was close whether he lost it or not, but he had to get to the 30, and I don't think he got there. He did not quite get there. So Brighton now from their own 33-yard line. Man goes in motion. Solomon Davis. Johnson looking to throw, taking a shot down the field. Got a man. Oh, incomplete. And that was Solomon Davis who flipped sides of the field. definitely had steps on his defender and would have taken that in for 6 had he been able to haul it in.
He definitely had the defender beat right there, and it's kind of like in basketball when we see a NBA player step back for an extra 3 to do a little bit of a heat check. Solomon laid that hit on Adele to get that turnover right there, and you could tell he was definitely pumped. He started on the right side of the line on that last play and went in motion to the far side, never broke stride, and just absolutely ran past his defender. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to reel that in.
Yeah, Johnson let him just a bit too far on that throw, so now 2nd and 10 coming up. But Brighton looking like they're wanting to air it out a little bit now. 4 wide receivers. Play action, going to throw again. Over the middle, caught. Inside the 40-yard line, about the 42, and that is Christian Holly on the reception for the Cardinals to make it 3rd and about 3 coming up. Make it 3rd and 2 after an 8-yard pickup.
When Munford's running that zone defense in the secondary and they've got all their receivers running these crossing routes, it definitely, when the ball's released, you don't know necessarily what your receivers intended right there, but third man's right here.
Here's a handoff to Williamson right up the gut. Beg your pardon, that's Brooks on the carry, and Brooks is going to bring it out to the 45-yard line. More than enough to move the chains for a Brighton first down, and all cylinders are engaged here for the Cardinals after scoring that first touchdown.
At which time the Cardinals will put it back in play. 144, 143. They need to hurry if they want to get this touchdown in.
Cardinals have 2 timeouts remaining here in the first half. 3 wide receivers set here on 1st and 10. Johnson's going to roll to his left. Escapes the pressure. Threw it right to the first down marker, and it's caught. Caught by, I believe that was Newsome on the reception there. And what a rocket as he had to throw that one across his body on the run.
Great field awareness for Newsome to know where he was out on the field. He had the chain right there, but then also trying to get his feet inbound, and they're going to call it a catch.
So that will stop the clock with 1:23 left to play here in the first half. Cardinals got a chance to at least tie it up here with a touchdown. Oh, they keep the clock rolling. They say he stopped him inbounds. Oh, no, just took a couple seconds off. They'll stop it at 1:18. They're just trying to milk the clock down, I suppose. Here's a first down carry. And Brooks will move the chains once again. Clock continues to run with 1:10 left to play. They'll stop it so they can reset the chains.
We've seen they've got the ability to throw the ball down the field. That's something they're not scared to do right now, but as the clock's getting close to 1 minute, they're going to definitely have to speed it up. They still have timeouts left as well.
Johnson hustles back out. He'll deliver the play. 2 wide receivers here on the near side, 1 on the far side. And again, it is Andrew Brooks standing in the backfield. Davis lined up here on the near side. It's Newsome lined up on the far side. Let's see who they throw it to. Under 45 seconds left to play now. Davis goes in motion. There's the snap. Fake the jet sweep. Looking to throw to Newsome. Flushed out of the pocket. Takes a shot down the field. Newsome fell down. No flags as it looks like he just got tripped up on his own feet. So stops the clock with 32 seconds to play in the second quarter. And it'll be 2nd and 10 coming up. Again, both teams still have 2 timeouts. We'll see if either team wants to burn any here before the end of the quarter.
Yeah, I like the composure out there by Johnson, being able to make sure that his players were lined up correctly, the play that they wanted to run, and they had a chance to have that downfield, but unfortunately it's going to be now 2nd and 10 with only 32 seconds left.
Yeah, Keontae Newsome had a chance to haul it in if he had stayed on his feet, but he couldn't. So timeout called by the Munford Cougars. They want to talk some things over. 1 timeout remaining for them with 32 seconds left to play in the second quarter. We'll step aside. You're watching tonight's game on Tubetown, live local from Ritter Communications.
911, what's your emergency?
I'm home alone. Someone is trying to get in the back door.
Find a safe place like in a closet or under a bed, okay?
Okay.
Be very quiet and don't worry. Your home phone gave me your location.
Hurry.
Help is on the way.
Only a dedicated home phone can quickly pinpoint your address for emergency personnel. Cell phones can't. Keep your loved ones safe for less than 60 cents a day with a home phone from Ritter. Call today or go to rittercommunications.com.
2nd and 10 coming up for the Brighton Cardinals with 32 seconds remaining in the second quarter. They are trying to even up this ball game at 13 and possibly take a lead with an extra point here. Still have 2 timeouts remaining. Munford just called their second, so they have 1 remaining. They're going to try to keep the Cardinals out of the end zone here in this quarter. Johnson taking the snap, rolling to his right, looking to throw. Got a man at the 30, threw it to the turf, and it's incomplete. Davis pleading his case to the referee, but the referee right in the vicinity. That was a very close call to make. Let's take a look at the replay and see if that actually hit the ground.
I thought with the naked eye that it sort of skipped into him right there, but we'll take a look.
Yep, it looks like it skipped in right as he was able to stick his hands underneath it.
That may be something that may have got a challenge flag in the NFL, but unfortunately they don't have that privilege here.
8th play of this drive coming up with 25 seconds remaining. 2 wide receivers on the far side. Davis and Newsom lined up here on the near side. Johnson again looking to throw. Flushed out of the pocket. Trying to get past pressure. Took a nasty hit. Lost the football, and Munford will fall on top of it. Cougar football.
Just trying to make too much happen right there, really. I mean, he had the ability. He could have fell down. They could have punted it away, but look right here. Just had all the time in the world. Couldn't find anybody downfield, and you could tell right here he was going to try to get rid of it.
Woo, took a mean lick there on his shoulder and just lost the football, and falling down on top of that for the Cougars is Javon Bonner. So now with 14 seconds left and 1 timeout remaining, Munford will take over on the Brighton 47-yard line. Let's see if they take a shot. They're going to hand it off right up the middle to Robertson, and a flag thrown. That'll stop the clock with 9 seconds left to play here in the quarter. And that's going to be actually on the carry, Lamarius Payne. And that'll be an illegal shift called on the Cougars. That's, I believe, their 3rd penalty of the football game tonight. Brighton also with 3. And with 9 seconds left, Munford going to call their final timeout of the first half. Still leading the Brighton Cardinals 13-7. See what they do here at the end of the second quarter, as Munford will get the ball back to start the third. But right now we're stepping aside for another timeout. Back with more here in tonight's football game on Tubetown, live local from Ritter Communications.
Introducing Ritter Home Security. Ritter takes care of protecting what's most important to you, from threats like unwelcome visitors and fire, to making your life easier by putting the control of your home at your fingertips. Use the free app to shut the garage, lock the door, turn off lights, arm the system, and more. You can even turn back the thermostat to help save money on your energy bill. Plus, get a snapshot when your kids get home. It's smart, beautiful, convenient, and ready for your busy life. Ritter Home Security.
Andy Manus, Ryan Short back here with you with 9 seconds remaining in the second quarter between the Munford Cougars, Brighton Cardinals. Cougars have the football on the Brighton 47-yard line. They lead this one 13-7. No timeouts left. One play. They're going to toss it to the 40-yard line. He lost the football. Nope, they're going to say it's incomplete. Looked like they might have been trying to set up a hook and ladder there.
I'm really surprised there's 1.5. That play seemed to take a little bit longer, but we've got one official on the far side saying completion and fumble, and we have the other one saying incomplete pass. So we're going to see right here. It looked like he never really had possession, as the defensive back right there, Solomon Davis, got in there before he really was able to reel it in.
So let's see if they run the same play again. That looked like they were trying to set up a hook and ladder, but it didn't seem like they had anybody on the far side of the field running across to take the pitch. So let's see what they do here. Two wide receivers.
Brighton's definitely in the prevent defense right here.
Yeah, got a couple of men backed up deep. Adele under center. He's going to drop back, rolling out to his right now. Tosses it to the far sideline. Nobody over there. Oh, we got a push after the whistle there. I don't know if anybody else saw that right at midfield, but it was Tyler Bridges getting away with a cheap shot. We see you out there, Big 50. See Adele there kind of walking gingerly on that right leg. A penalty flag has been thrown as time has expired. It'll be a chop block. They're going to decline that penalty. And I believe that'll be the end of the first half, and it will indeed. The two teams head to the locker room. It looks like perhaps Coach Robin Jacobs over there talking to his defensive unit after that, and he's going to keep them on the sideline to avoid any type of extracurriculars over here between the two teams. 13-7 is the score. The Munford Cougars leading the Brighton Cardinals after the first two quarters. We're going to step aside for a quick break. We'll come back with some halftime stats for you and give you a first half breakdown. All part of the Ritter Communications halftime show coming up next here on Tubetown. Live local from Ritter Communications.
I am the new Reese's Outrageous Blizzard only at DQ, and I live up to my name. I am Reese's Peanut Butter Cups and Reese's Pieces Candies. It's two kinds of Reese's in one Blizzard. Plus, brace yourselves, caramel. Outrageous! This is an outrage! Who's behind this? Does DQ know about this? Psst. Of course we do. Because I'm not fast food. I am fan food.
Memphis International Raceway is a proud sponsor of the Munford High School Cougars. Go Cougars! Check out the schedule at racemir.com for all the details on great family-friendly racing. Now let's go Cougars!
Life doesn't always go as planned. So when a power surge affects your TV, or a breakfast mishap takes out your laptop, Guardware multi-device protection gives you peace of mind, knowing your devices will be repaired or replaced with just one call, and without breaking the bank. Protection you can trust. Guardware from Ritter. Enroll today to keep what matters most protected tomorrow.
How much bandwidth will satisfy your home's hunger? The average household now has more wireless devices in use a day than ever before, including TVs, laptops, tablets, and smartphones. HD streaming and gaming can use large amounts of data and slow down speeds for other users. The more devices you use, the more bandwidth your home needs. So make sure you have enough bandwidth. Get up to 100 megs with internet from Ritter Communications. It's the speed you need to power all your devices. Call today.
No matter what kind of business you own or operate, you need to keep it connected. Ritter Communications delivers the fastest business internet speeds available at a price that won't slow you down. Ritter offers reliable 24-hour service with network monitoring, along with the scalable options your business needs to grow. And we do it all on our own fiber optic network. The choice is yours, and so is the savings. Connect to something better. Call or visit ritterbusiness.com today.
911, what's your emergency?
I'm home alone. Someone is trying to get in the back door.
Find a safe place like in a closet or under a bed, okay?
Okay.
Be very quiet and don't worry. Your home phone gave me your location.
Hurry.
Help is on the way.
Only a dedicated home phone can quickly pinpoint your address for emergency personnel. Cell phones can't. Keep your loved ones safe for less than 60 cents a day with a home phone from Ritter. Call today or go to rittercommunications.com.
Introducing Ritter Home Security. Ritter takes care of protecting what's most important to you, from threats like unwelcome visitors and fire, to making your life easier by putting the control of your home at your fingertips. Use the free app to shut the garage, lock the door, turn off lights, arm the system, and more. You can even turn back the thermostat to help save money on your energy bill. Plus, get a snapshot when your kids get home. It's smart, beautiful, convenient, and ready for your busy life. Ritter Home Security.
Until you've seen how fast it really is, some people's reaction to Ritter's 100 megabit internet might be like, 100 mega, huh? Here's how we describe it. Mega beautiful, mega fast, mega blast, mega party, mega Ritter. There's no end to your online possibilities with up to 100 meg internet speeds. In a word, that means mega fun. If you're not getting your high-speed internet from Ritter, you should. Call 888-336-4466 today. Only from Ritter Communications, right by you.
For your smartphones, tablets, phablets. For the browsers you carry in your trousers. Wowzers! For your big screens and small screens, short screens and tall screens, get speed that screams. From the top of your desk to the palm of your hand, it's the fastest internet speed in the land.
There's no end to your online possibilities with up to 100 meg internet speeds. If you're not getting your internet from Ritter, you should. Call 888-336-4466 today. Ritter Communications. Right by you.
High-speed internet for every grown-up, grandparent, kid, teen, and in between. Ritter's got it. Every JPEG, MPEG, and GIF for the working mom or the working stiff, loaded in a GIF. Whether you're a blogger, gamer, or pixel tamer, don't be a slow-speed blamer. Don't waste your time waiting to load that page. Get Ritter high-speed internet. It's all the rage.
There's no end to your online possibilities with up to 100 meg internet speeds. Only from Ritter Communications. Right by you.
You work here, you play here, you live here, and yet most of what you watch on television is about somewhere other than here. Until now, we proudly present Tubetown, TV about you. Tubetown is a Ritter Communications exclusive network featuring local sports, community events, unique and original programming from our community. Tubetown takes what's best about television, what's best about the community, and brings them together. Tubetown, only from Ritter Communications, right by you.
Technology was supposed to make our lives easier. No one told us about the plethora of glitches, viruses, hackers, hundreds of passwords to remember, and getting all our tech to sync up. Introducing Tech Home. Technology made easy for you and your devices. Tech Home makes it easy to set up, protect, and enjoy your internet-connected devices anytime, anywhere. Security, password management, backup, and premium tech support. Get back in charge of your digital life now with Tech Home.
Satellite TV providers force you to sign a long-term contract, then saddle you with second-rate service and price increases. Ritter delivers TV service with stunning HD channels, plus bundle savings on the area's fastest internet, and a better home phone service with no long-term contracts, backed by our local customer care team. No contracts, no nonsense, just great service. Don't get stuck with a dish. Visit RitterCommunications.com to learn more.
It begins with a click. And no matter where you are, you have countless choices at your fingertips. On the road, on your break, even in your own backyard. A world of entertainment is just a click away. Simply go to RitterCommunications.com/TV Everywhere to get started. Ritter Communications, connecting you to everything that matters.
With so many great mega services available from Ritter Communications, it's hard to pick just one. Save a bundle with bundled services. Talk as much as you want, when you want, with unlimited long distance. Get the speed you need with up to 15, 30, 50, and even 100 megabits per second internet. Enjoy online bill pay and protect all your online data and devices with Tech Home and Guardware. With so many choices, options, and savings from Ritter, all you can say is, wow! Mega services, mega savings. That's Mega Ritter.
Welcome back to Munford, Tennessee, as the Munford Cougars has a 13-7 lead over the Brighton Cardinals. Got some halftime stats for you to run over right here, Andy, and we're going to be able to give you some first half analysis and what we can expect coming forward here in the second half.
Yeah, it's been a fun game to be a part of so far tonight, and obviously a very close score, just a one-score game with a lot on the line tonight. Talking about the winner going on to the playoffs. They'll be headed to take on, I believe, Henry County next week, the winner of tonight's football game. So a lot riding on the line. The Munford Cougars started things off in the first quarter thanks to Jayshawn Adale. A couple of touchdown runs for him, one from a distance of 9 yards, one from a distance of 66 yards. So the Munford Cougars have definitely got their ground game working tonight. As you see, 171 rushing yards. Compare that to the 23 of the Brighton Cardinals.
Yeah, first half, that second score for Munford coming off that 66-yard run by Adele. He can attest to 133 of those 171 yards. So he's been a huge factor. We've seen him doing that little option where he keeps it in Robinson's gut and then is able to go around the corner. That's been really successful for them, and that's how they've picked up most of their yards, and that's been both scoring plays so far.
You got 44 passing yards through the air for the Brighton Cardinals, as you see on your screen there. Had a great drive that they strung together at the end of the first quarter and at the beginning of the second that was capped off with a 4-yard touchdown pass from Nick Johnson to Solomon Davis. And they would hit the extra point to make it a 13-7 game. And then both teams fumbled the ball. Back-to-back possessions. The Munford Cougars had an 8-play drive going. They were marching it down the field, fumbled it away on 4th down. Then you look at the Brighton Cardinals. They, too, had an 8-play drive, and were looking to try to find the end zone before the end of the second quarter, and then they fumbled it away. Munford obviously recovered that and had a chance to perhaps score a miracle play with about 20 seconds left in the half and only one timeout remaining. They could not find the end zone, and that's where we're at right now, a 13-7 ball game. Still, obviously, a lot of football left to play, but if things, are similar to the first half, I look for Munford to keep attacking the ground game because they have done a bang-up job between Noah Robertson and then Jayshawn Adele capitalizing on those options play. You've talked about it all throughout the first half when they fake that handoff to Noah Robinson right up the middle. Every single defender is biting forward trying to close up that gap, and that gives Adele the perfect opportunity to bounce outside for a big pickup.
Yeah, that's been the most predominant way of them gaining yards so far this game. But if you're for Brighton, promising land is on the horizon because that last offensive possession for Munford, Brighton was able to come out and get a defensive stop. And for Brighton, we've been talking about Nick Johnson, and they've been trying to open up the air attack. So far, he's 7 of 13 passing, which that accumulated that 44 yards and that touchdown that he has. 8 different players for Brighton on their roster has touched the ball or had some type of contribution to the offense. Flip side, you look at Munford, 3 players. 3 players. Of all the plays that they've run, 22 plays at this moment, Adele and Robson has 20 of the 22 plays.
Yeah, they're definitely the workhorse tonight, or the workhorses, I should say, for the Munford Cougars. But again, a lot on the line tonight as the winner will head on to the playoffs in 2018. The loser will head home for the year. Both teams 3-3 in conference play. They are trying to find that 4th and much-needed win so they can make their way into the playoffs. And, again, they'll be facing Henry County. Munford, again, with a little bit of a chip on their shoulders. They haven't won this game against Brighton since 2014. They're trying to make it happen here in 2018. Still about 10 minutes left in our halftime break. We're going to step aside for another quick break ourselves. We'll come back and we'll tell you a little bit more about tonight's game and get you prepped for the third quarter. All part of the Ritter Communications halftime show here on Tubetown, live local from Ritter Communications.
I am the new Reese's Outrageous Blizzard only at DQ, and I live up to my name. I am Reese's Peanut Butter Cups and Reese's Pieces Candies. It's 2 kinds of Reese's in one Blizzard. Plus, brace yourselves, caramel. Outrageous! This is an outrage! Who's behind this? Does DQ know about this? Psst. Of course we do. Because I'm not fast food. I am fan food.
Memphis International Raceway is a proud sponsor of the Munford High School Cougars. Go Cougars! Check out the schedule at racemir.com for all the details on great family-friendly racing. Now let's go Cougars!
Life doesn't always go as planned. So when a power surge affects your TV, or a breakfast mishap takes out your laptop, Guardware multi-device protection gives you peace of mind, knowing your devices will be repaired or replaced with just one call, and without breaking the bank. Protection you can trust. Guardware from Ritter. Enroll today to keep what matters most protected tomorrow.
How much bandwidth will satisfy your home's hunger? The average household now has more wireless devices in use a day than ever before, including TVs, laptops, tablets, and smartphones. HD streaming and gaming can use large amounts of data and slow down speeds for other users. The more devices you use, the more bandwidth your home needs. So make sure you have enough bandwidth. Get up to 100 megs with internet from Ritter Communications. It's the speed you need to power all your devices. Call today.
No matter what kind of business you own or operate, you need to keep it connected. Ritter Communications delivers the fastest business internet speeds available at a price that won't slow you down. Ritter offers reliable 24-hour service with network monitoring, along with the scalable options your business needs to grow. And we do it all on our own fiber optic network. The choice is yours, and so is the savings. Connect to something better. Call or visit ritterbusiness.com today.
911, what's your emergency?
I'm home alone. Someone is trying to get in the back door.
Find a safe place like in a closet or under a bed, okay?
Okay.
Be very quiet and don't worry. Your home phone gave me your location.
Hurry.
Help is on the way.
Only a dedicated home phone can quickly pinpoint your address for emergency personnel. Cell phones can't. Keep your loved ones safe for less than 60 cents a day with a home phone from Ritter. Call today or go to rittercommunications.com.
Introducing Ritter Home Security. Ritter takes care of protecting what's most important to you, from threats like unwelcome visitors and fire, to making your life easier by putting the control of your home at your fingertips. Use the free app to shut the garage, lock the door, turn off lights, arm the system, and more. You can even turn back the thermostat to help save money on your energy bill. Plus, get a snapshot when your kids get home. It's smart, beautiful, convenient, and ready for your busy life. Ritter Home Security.
Until you've seen how fast it really is, some people's reaction to Ritter's 100 megabit internet might be like, 100 mega, huh? Here's how we describe it. Mega beautiful, mega fast, mega blast, mega party, mega Ritter. There's no end to your online possibilities with up to 100 meg internet speeds. In a word, that means mega fun. If you're not getting your high-speed internet from Ritter, you should. Call 888-336-4466 today. Only from Ritter Communications. Right by you.
For your smartphones, tablets, phablets. For the browsers you carry in your trousers. Wowzers! For your big screens and small screens, short screens and tall screens, get speed that screams. From the top of your desk to the palm of your hand, it's the fastest internet speed in the land.
There's no end to your online possibilities with up to 100 meg internet speeds. If you're not getting your internet from Ritter, you should. Call 888-336-4466 today. Ritter Communications. Right by you.
High-speed internet for every grown-up, grandparent, kid, teen, and in between. Ritter's got it. Every JPEG, MPEG, and GIF for the working mom or the working stiff, loaded in a GIF. Whether you're a blogger, gamer, or pixel tamer, don't be a slow-speed blamer. Don't waste your time waiting to load that page. Get Ritter high-speed internet. It's all the rage.
There's no end to your online possibilities with up to 100 meg internet speeds. Only from Ritter Communications. Right by you.
You work here, you play here, you live here, and yet most of what you watch on television is about somewhere other than here. Until now, we proudly present Tubetown, TV about you. Tubetown is a Ritter Communications exclusive network featuring local sports, community events, unique and original programming from our community. Tubetown takes what's best about television, what's best about the community, and brings them together. Tubetown, only from Ritter Communications, right by you.
Technology was supposed to make our lives easier. No one told us about the plethora of glitches, viruses, hackers, hundreds of passwords to remember, and getting all our tech to sync up. Introducing Tech Home. Technology made easy for you and your devices. Tech Home makes it easy to set up, protect, and enjoy your internet-connected devices anytime, anywhere. Security, password management, backup, and premium tech support. Get back in charge of your digital life now with Tech Home.
Satellite TV providers force you to sign a long-term contract, then saddle you with second-rate service and price increases. Ritter delivers TV service with stunning HD channels, plus bundle savings on the area's fastest internet, and a better home phone service with no long-term contracts, backed by our local customer care team. No contracts, no nonsense, just great service. Don't get stuck with a dish. Visit rittercommunications.com to learn more.
It begins with a click. And no matter where you are, you have countless choices at your fingertips. On the road, on your break, even in your own backyard. A world of entertainment is just a click away. Simply go to rittercommunications.com/TV Everywhere to get started. Ritter Communications, connecting you to everything that matters.
With so many great mega services available from Ritter Communications, it's hard to pick just one. Save a bundle with bundled services. Talk as much as you want, when you want, with unlimited long distance. Get the speed you need with up to 15, 30, 50, and even 100 megabits per second internet. Enjoy online bill pay and protect all your online data and devices with Tech Home and Guardware. With so many choices, options, and savings from Ritter, all you can say is, wow! Mega services, mega savings. That's Mega Ritter.
Welcome back to Munford, Tennessee, as the Cougars have a 13-7 lead over the Cardinals at the end of the first half. We're about 3 minutes away from kickoff. The Brighton band has come out and performed. The Munford band did not take the field this evening, so we had a shorter halftime, and both teams have made their way back out on the field. They're getting warmed up right now. Cougars 13-7 lead. Most of their offense came in the early stages of the first quarter, and then Brighton was able to answer back. Munford will be receiving the second half kickoff, as we saw them sort of wind clock down as in the first half. We were looking at our clocks during the break, Andy, and we're sitting there saying that the first half didn't even take an hour.
No, it didn't. I mean, if you look at the play calling of the Munford Cougars throughout the first half, I mean, they really stuck with that ground game. I mean, 171 rushing yards on the ground. Going to look to see a lot more of that here in the second half. Both of these teams, well, I should say one of these teams anyway, the Brighton Cardinals have made their way out of the locker room. They've begun their second half warm-ups. Still about 2 minutes left on the clock on the scoreboard, as now the Munford Cougars are making their way down the ramp and back onto the field. So they're going to get their stretches in. We're going to get our stretches in,
yes,
and get ready for the second half. Stretching is always very important.
Yeah, it's always necessary to stretch out the lower extremities while you're sitting in a press box, as we're in here at Munford. But we're geared up, ready to go. Let's have a fun second half, Andy.
Let's get to it. We'll go ahead and step aside one more time. When we come back, we'll have the third quarter kickoff just for you right here from Dr. Sid Witherington Stadium on Tubetown. Live local from Ritter Communications.
I am the new Reese's Outrageous Blizzard only at DQ, and I live up to my name. I am Reese's Peanut Butter Cups and Reese's Pieces Candies. It's 2 kinds of Reese's in one Blizzard. Plus, brace yourselves, caramel. Outrageous! This is an outrage! Who's behind this? Does DQ know about this? Psst. Of course we do. Because I'm not fast food. I am fan food.
Memphis International Raceway is a proud sponsor of the Munford High School Cougars. Go Cougars! Check out the schedule at racemir.com for all the details on great family-friendly racing. Now let's go Cougars!
Life doesn't always go as planned. So when a power surge affects your TV, or a breakfast mishap takes out your laptop, Guardware multi-device protection gives you peace of mind, knowing your devices will be repaired or replaced with just one call, and without breaking the bank. Protection you can trust. Guardware from Ritter. Enroll today to keep what matters most protected tomorrow.
How much bandwidth will satisfy your home's hunger? The average household now has more wireless devices in use a day than ever before, including TVs, laptops, tablets, and smartphones. HD streaming and gaming can use large amounts of data and slow down speeds for other users. The more devices you use, the more bandwidth your home needs. So make sure you have enough bandwidth. Get up to 100 megs with internet from Ritter Communications. It's the speed you need to power all your devices. Call today.
We welcome you back to Dr. Sid Witherington Stadium here in Munford, where the Munford Cougars have a 6-point lead on the Brighton Cardinals after the first 2 quarters. Andy Maness and Ryan Short here with you tonight underneath the headset, bringing you all of the play-by-play action. as the Brighton Cardinals are getting ready to kick this away to start the third quarter. They took the opening kickoff of tonight's game. They had a 3-and-out, gave it back to the Cougars, who promptly marched it right down the field and scored in 7 plays to take the lead. They have not relinquished that lead, although the Cardinals have since made it a 6-point ball game, 13 straight points, and now the Cardinals have put in 7 to make it a 13-7 ball game. And as I mentioned, the Cardinals ready to kick this one away. Ryan, we were talking during the break just a moment ago. It'll be interesting to see if this one comes down to field goals, as we watched the Cardinals' Cannon Clark out at the 30-yard line, booting field goals through. And the 2 that we saw him kick, he was 1 for 2.
Yeah, he's definitely got the leg for it, and I'd say he was at the 30. I'd say he could probably stretch it out to between the 30 and 35 if they need him to do that. But I'll be interested to see here first possessions coming out, the halftime adjustments by both Munford and Brighton. Brighton, you hope defensive stops was the conversation at half, because they got that one late in the first half, and they really need to rebound off that, because besides that one stop, they really didn't have an answer for the Cougar offense. And for the Cougars, you just need to come out and keep executing and keep doing things, and this one should fall in your favor if you don't give it away.
So it looks like Demario Gatlin is out to kick this one away.
Sophomore. They have him listed as an athlete on the roster, not a necessary position.
He athletically boots that one down the field, caught at the 20-yard line. Now taken out to the 25. I believe that's Jayshawn Adele. Nope, beg your pardon. Oh, no, that is Jayshawn Adele. Man, all of these numbers for the Munford Cougars, every year they get me.
Only way I'm able to spot him is he's got the pink sleeves and the pink. That's the only way that I've really been able to distinguish him. But it looked like the senior Dallas Dooley was in on the tackle, being able to wrap him down. And once again, Munford starting field position going to be around the 26.
So we'll see Adele come back out under center, no doubt, with a 2 wide receiver set. We'll see if Noah Robertson is in the backfield, and he is standing right behind Adele. Adele giving the play. It looks like Travion Hawkins lined up on the left side of this line. There's the handoff to Robertson. Robertson will make his way to the 30-yard line, gang tackled. That just shows you how powerful he is as they unpile 3 white jerseys off of Robertson.
If you weren't with us in the first half, the second half is going to be a good dose of that right there. Robertson going up the middle, and then Adele with the read play coming off either side after the run option right there.
Again, you're seeing the Cardinals sticking 9 guys in the box. They've got the other 2 defenders lined up on the wideouts for Munford, which the Cougars have not utilized at all tonight. Here we go, 2nd and 6 coming up. There's the option. Adele will make his way up the middle. Now he bounces back to the outside, and he was a shoestring tackle away from picking up some big yardage here on the near sideline. Great job by Cardinal defender Ben Dunlap.
Good defense right here by Brighton, being able to bust that play up in the middle, and then Adele, just his pure athleticism, being able to fall forward, fortunately, for a couple yards, and now it's going to result in a 3rd and 4.
And I beg your pardon, that was actually Darion Lewis on the tackle there. Talked a little bit about him, and he's just a freshman, folks. 3rd and short coming up. Hawkins goes in motion. Now he'll head back to the end of the line. You often see that just to see what type of coverage the defense is running. Are they running a zone or are they running a man? Now Adele's got the play. Ready to go. There's Hawkins in motion again. It's an option. Adele keeping it himself. Ran right into the arms of a waiting Cardinal defender who slams him to the turf. Paid for that run right up the gut. Don't know if he got the first down. I think he's just about half a yard shy. So 4th and short coming up. I think that was Wyatt Rich he ran into.
This is exactly what Brighton needed to come out right at the beginning of the second half, and right now it looks like Munford's offense is staying on the field. We'll see what they try to cook up here.
Got a couple of tall defenders in there for Brighton.
Yeah, you can see Wyatt Rich's head over everybody else's up there, the senior.
That's the one I was looking at in there at defensive end. 4th and short, here we go. Adele under center. Quarterback sneak gets a push from behind. He is going to pick up first down yardage and move the chains for the Munford Cougars. Great conversion on 4th down utilizing the sneak. Even though I think the Cardinals knew it was coming, they couldn't stop that front four of the Cougars from getting an excellent push.
Yeah, you can see Brighton's defensive tackles right there. Defensive adjustment coming out in the second half. They're starting just to the left and right of the center and was bear crawling through the line right there, trying to just disrupt whatever internal run game that the Cougars were trying to develop.
5th play of this drive coming up. Cardinals had the ball for about 3.5 minutes here, and now play blown dead. I think we were just given some time for a substitution to get off the field. I think maybe a equipment malfunction. They had to get a player out of there and get a substitute in. So now the Cardinals are ready to go. One of the middle linebackers switched out. Adele wipes his hands, ready for the snap now. Sends a man in motion. It's going to be a handoff to Robertson right up the gut. And again, they go back to their workhorse, who picks up about 4 yards. So 2nd and 6 coming up. And we've been seeing them run that option play all night long, Ryan. That one a bit of a different variation as they ran Hawkins on the jet sweep.
Yeah, different variation, but still the same result. I mean, first play, we've seen this time and time again where you see the jet sweep coming right behind the quarterback. Different look, but ultimately you can tack up Noah for 3 or 4 every time he's touching the ball so far.
Well, and when Hawkins sprints across the field like that behind the quarterback, you automatically think, okay, everybody's pulling to the left. And instead they run a counter to the right. Here's another handoff right up the gut and another pickup of close to 3, maybe 4 yards for the Cougars on the ground. So a 3rd and short situation coming up. And I don't think that was Robertson on the carry there. I think that was, well, actually not sure who that was on the carry.
I think that was Robertson. He just got mixed up in there a little bit. That's who I originally thought it was going to.
Well, and again, these numbers are a bit difficult to read from up here, so you can kind of see that on your screen. That digital camouflage against that gray is just, it makes it a little bit blurry. 3rd and 3 from their own 45-yard line. 2 wideouts. Robertson lined up in the backfield. Adele under center. 5 down linemen on the line of scrimmage for the Cardinals. There's Hawkins in motion. The option for Adele. He keeps it himself. Bounces to the outside. He's down the far sideline. 40, 35, 30. Sprinting ahead. Cuts back inside. He's going to score. The Munford Cougars and Jayshawn Adele has done it again.
He may be running all the way back to the locker room with that one. 55 yards. I mean, it's the prescription that they came into the game with, and it just never fails. Fakes to Robertson, go around the corner. No one even realizes he has the ball until he's already got first down yardage. And then he absolutely outruns everyone. Good cut right here going back towards the middle of the field.
Yeah, what a move to make his way back to the inside numbers. Goodness gracious, a 55-yard touchdown rush for Jayshawn Adele. Extra point on the way, and they will put that one through the uprights. The score is now 20-7. The Munford Cougars lead the Brighton Cardinals with 6:50 left to play here in the 3rd quarter, thanks to a 55-yard touchdown rush from Jayshawn Adele. We're back with more of the 3rd quarter right after this on Tubetown, live local from Ritter Communications.
I am the new Reese's Outrageous Blizzard, only at DQ. And I live up to my name. I am Reese's Peanut Butter Cups and Reese's Pieces Candies. It's 2 kinds of Reese's in one Blizzard. Plus, brace yourselves, caramel. Outrageous! This is an outrage! Who's behind this? Does DQ know about this? Psst. Of course we do. Because I'm not fast food. I am fan food.
Andy Maness and Ryan Short back here with you after a 55-yard touchdown rush from Jayshawn Adele. Here's the ensuing kickoff. Taken inside the 25, now out to the 30. Still on his feet as he crosses the 30, and he will be dropped shy of the 35-yard line. It looks like they'll spot him about the 33-yard line, and now the Cardinal offense will come back out and try to answer that 7-play drive from the Munford Cougars. Ryan, that 7-play drive took nearly 6 minutes off the clock. Take a look at the replay. They fake the handoff up to Robertson up the middle, and then Adale on the option, as we've seen him do now 3 times tonight. Bounces it to the outside, and with a beautiful cut at the 20-yard line, able to take it in the distance for 6.
The crazy thing is, though, Andy, that drive, they had milked 6 minutes off the clock, but they were still on their own 45-yard line.
Yeah, they have just been chewing up clock here with their ground game, and a run that time from Krishawn Macklin. That is the first carry for Krishawn Macklin in tonight's ball game. Just trying to get him going a little bit, maybe just trying to get a little mojo working, but instead on the first down carry, he slips up, and it is now 2nd and 15. Johnson looking to throw on play action. Over the middle, caught by the fingertips at the 35-yard line. Nice catch there, and I think that was Solomon Davis on the reception. And it'll be 3rd and about 10. Oh, no, they're waving that off, and they're going to say he dropped it. It's incomplete.
From our vantage point, you can tell right here on the replay that, once again, plenty of time to make the play, pass downfield, right off the fingertips, and he was juggling it just a little bit. Oh, there it goes.
Yep, lost it right there at the end. Didn't see that happening, and I could tell as soon as he tried to haul it in, he was having a hard time with it. That was a hot pass coming in there from Nick Johnson. And again, in the face of pressure, we'll see if the Cougars want to bring a blitz here on 3rd and 15, and I would imagine that they would like to.
Yeah. Munford's head coach right now, we've been talking about how they've had success under Coach Nick Markle, but he is not happy right now. The defensive alignment he was wanting right there on 3rd and 15 was not what he was wanting to look at. And for Brighton right now, all the time in the world for Johnson to pass the ball. It's just his receivers are not getting open, and it seems like they're running their routes and he's going through his progressions, but the receivers aren't open at that time, and he's able to stall, and it just turns into this game of pitch and catch. Look, right here on this 3rd down, I'm sure they're going to have a design pass play in mind, but just improvising when the play goes dead is where this is a potential conversion for Brighton.
Well, and they've got Keontae Newsome as a wide receiver who towers above pretty much everybody else on the field. I mean, he looks like your prototypical wide receiver. And so far, he has been held largely in check tonight. You see number 9 standing at the top of your screen at about the 25-yard line. And they've only got one man covering him here. So let's see if they can give Johnson enough time to throw the ball deep down the field. Johnson's looking to the near side, pump fake. Now he's going to go deep for Davis on a double move. Davis has got it at the 40-yard line, but he lost it out of bounds. Solomon Davis couldn't haul it in, had his hands and the defense all over it, but it's going to be 4th down coming up.
Great pass right here, putting it where really his only option for his receiver to catch it, but fortunately for Munford, they just had a hat in the area. That's Jared Doyle Jr., the corner on that play, that he just fortunately was in the right place at the right time, and he didn't get into the body of Solomon at all and broke up the pass.
Yeah, he timed his jump perfectly. Even though he wasn't facing the football, he was able to disrupt that catch, and so now Johnson is going to be standing at his own 15-yard line, ready to punt this one away. There's the punt. Great punt from Johnson. It's end over end, caught at the 40-yard line, 45-50. Oh, and he went low and took a nasty hit, did the return man, and that was Jesse Savage on the return.
Savage on the return, and there's some pushing going on at midfield. I think there's going to be something that happened that was
away from the football.
Away from the football as well, yeah.
That's at the 45-yard line.
And I think some type of unnecessary roughness.
Yeah, they've had enough of this chippiness going on out here.
Blindside block. You know, we've been doing these games all year, Andy, and I don't know if I've seen a blindside block yet or a hands to the face.
That's funny. We actually did have a blindside block. I believe it was last week in a game over in Arkansas, and that was something that we mentioned, is that's not something you see called very often at the high school level, but seen it called here tonight.
I forgot I wasn't invited to that game.
You were invited. I just think you had other things to do.
Maybe. I'm going to have to talk to my agent about that one.
Oh, my goodness. Cougars will have it 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line after the penalty. It'll be the Brighton 34-yard line, so the Cougars in great field position.
Good stop right there for Brighton. They sit Noah up the middle right there, and he just didn't have anywhere to go. And I mean, I feel like if we could write a book on how this game has gone so far, it'd have 2 chapters. Munford offensively, Noah up the middle, Adele for 50 yards. If you're for Brighton, it's basically been your first down play has been for negative yards, and then you've been fighting an uphill battle ever since. And that's the whole story of this game so far.
Well, if you look at their offensive stats, it seems to be the way that it's gone all year from them. They're down a lot from last year. I mean, last year they were averaging 36 points per game on offense. This year, only 22.8. So about a 14-point difference in what they were scoring year-to-date last year. Now play has been stopped. 2nd and 10 with 5:11 to play in the third quarter, and now some officials are headed over to the near sideline to talk with Coach Nick Markle. So the white hat is over here at the 35 speaking with his officials, and he's pointing towards the crowd or the sideline, or
he has another official down there. So something interesting about the layout here is there's not a play clock that we can see. There's actually another official that's keeping up to date with that, and he's one basically getting all that information relayed on the field. So right now I think that's what they're having an issue with.
So Coach Markle still talking with one of the officials over here. Now the head official, I think, headed to the far sideline to talk to Coach Robin Jacobs about a few things.
Everyone met at midfield and
just had a little conference like a pitcher's mound meeting, right?
I think we need to head to a break, Andy. I don't know what exactly is going on, but...
Well, it looks like we've got I think you're right about the play clock situation, because we've got one official who's down here on the near sideline and is looks to be working with one of the Munford School District members who has been up here operating the clock. And he is motioning now. I think either some batteries might have died in the play clock or the game clock operator control. I'm not really sure. I haven't really seen this happen this year.
No, I haven't seen an explanation of what's going on either, except for a lot of very obscure sign language pointing to remotes and the clock and everything else.
Well, the good news is if you're Brighton, your defense is getting a little bit of a breather right now.
Yeah, they are all on a knee right now, just hanging out, arms crossed, looking across the line at that Munford offense that's really had their way with them so far. But get as much water and air in you as can, because right now you're looking at a 13-point deficit that you're going to have to overcome, and if Munford keeps moving the ball like they have the whole game, then it may not be too promising for you.
So now the head official is headed back over. As you can see right there, they're handing the official a little remote there. We believe that operates the scoreboard, or at least the game clock or the play clock. So it seems we've got some fresh batteries in our remotes now, and we're ready to go.
This live stream is not brought to you by Duracell, or that would not have been an issue.
True story. Product placement. Let us get some. We need some batteries.
I hope they heard that, because that's a free plug.
All right, game clock will continue to roll now. At about 5 minutes left to play in the third. 2nd and 10. Here we go with the Munford Cougars on offense. 5 down linemen coming for the defensive unit of Brighton. Handed off to Robertson right up the middle. He makes his way to the 30-yard line. And again, some more pushing and shoving after the play, and a flag is thrown. And this one is going to go, I believe, against the Brighton Cardinals. Ben Dunlap down on the ground wrestling with one of the players. And another flag comes flying out, I believe.
Who was that one on?
I believe that one is also going to go against Brighton.
Okay.
So I believe we've got an unsportsmanlike coming up. Double personal fouls.
Man.
So now this should move the football. The first one would have moved it inside the 20, and I assume the second one will be half the distance to the goal. So the referees seem to have it figured out. They're going to spot the ball at the Brighton 8-yard line, and it'll be a first and goal coming up for Munford.
That's over 40 yards just in penalties for this drive for Munford.
Yeah, that's their, I believe, 5th penalty of tonight's ball game. Both of those back-to-back penalties anyway. Here we go, first and goal. Adale under center. Hawkins goes in motion. They hand it off to Robertson. Robertson tripped up, and it looks like Adale is, again, favoring that right ankle perhaps. See him walking a little bit gingerly on that right leg, and he's been doing that, I think, since back in the second quarter.
Yeah, I noticed it when we were here earlier in the year when they were playing Millington, and also tonight. You can tell whenever he gets to the next level and he's trying to turn on the Jets, he has a little hitch in his giddy up, as they would say. I don't know who they necessarily is, but that's what they say. Is he's got a hitch in his giddy up.
2 wide receivers set, one on either side again for Adale. Here's Hawkins in motion. Adale on the keeper, makes his way up the middle, bowls over a linebacker, and he'll score his 4th touchdown of the evening.
Man, he just has this 6th instinct, or this 6th sense of finding the end zone, and when he can sense that he's getting close, he will do anything to get in there. You can see right here, great block on the edge, and then just wheeled his way in there as he was running over Sam Dunlap.
Yeah, it looked like he picked up a huge block from Noah Robertson out of the backfield.
There's multiple blocks in that play where it looks like both players hit and they kind of froze in time for a second.
There's the snap. Extra point up, and it will go through the uprights. 27-7 now the score. Back-to-back touchdowns scored by the Cougars here in the third quarter. And they now have a 20-point lead over their rival, the Brighton Cardinals. We're back with more here in the third quarter after this on Tubetown.
Memphis International Raceway is a proud sponsor of the Munford High School Cougars. Go Cougars! Check out the schedule at racemir.com for all the details on great family-friendly racing. Now let's go Cougars!
Andy Manus and Ryan Short welcome you back to Munford, where the Cougars have just piled on another touchdown and extra point. They now lead the Brighton Cardinals 27-7.
What in the world is going on now?
Looks like we probably had a penalty on the Cougars there, as the referees have backed this kickoff up to the 25-yard line. So we missed a flag in there somewhere on the Cougars, and it looks like right now one of the coaches giving one of his team members quite an earful. I couldn't tell if that was Francisco Hernandez or who that was getting jawed at. Is that 68 or 60 down there? It's either, that might be Chris Farrell down there.
Yeah, I think that's going to be who it is.
There's the kickoff, taken at the 30-yard line. Now the 35 out to the 40. Stutter step from Newsome, and I think he lose the football. No, he just lost his footing.
Yeah, he tripped over his own player's feet right there, but Brighton has to have an answer right here. We've seen them get 7 points. Most of that, when that drive did eventually convert into the end zone, they had a lot of pass plays towards the end of the drive, but to get them started, they put the ball on the ground. Look, I really expect for them to go back to that on this drive.
First and 10 from the 42 for the Cardinals, and I'd really like to see them air it out. I know they've been throwing all game, but I'd like to see them take a shot for Newsome. Again, Keontae Newsome, the tallest player out there on the field. You see him lined up out there at the top of your screen at the 40. Davis is on the near side, but they're going to hand it off to Williamson. Williamson trying to break to the outside, but he's tackled from behind. Great pursuit that time by Jesse Savage as Williamson makes his way out to the 50.
Good run right here, being able to bounce it outside. Good block right there by his lineman. He's able to just carry a defender all the way down where it's going to be about a 2nd and 2 here.
Yeah, and credit Savage for hanging on for the ride. Holly's going to go in motion on the other side of the field. There's the handoff again to Williamson. Williamson with a stutter step finds the gap, gets the first down, and makes his way to the 44-yard line. A new set of downs coming up for the Cardinals with 2:51 to play in the third quarter.
Just like we said before this drive started, that they needed to get back and have some type of ground game. Looks like was that Williamson that lost a shoe, and they're going to send him off, so I'm sure they're going to just bring Brooks in right here to be able to carry the load.
Yeah, Andrew Brooks, the senior, coming back out. He'll stand to the left of Nick Johnson. Check that. He'll move over to the right side. Newsom lined up at the top. Davis lined up at the bottom, but it's a handoff to Brooks. Brooks makes his way through the left tackle and guard out to the 40-yard line. Picks up about 6 yards on that first down carry. So now second, check that. Make that about 4 yards. 2nd and 6 coming up. I got those backwards.
That was really quick math right there, Andy. I'm really proud of you for that one.
Arithmetics. 2nd and 6 from the Munford 40-yard line, nearing the 2-minute mark in the third quarter.
If Brighton is wanting to take a shot, now's the time.
They're going to hand it off to Brooks. Brooks running to his right, bounces off of one defender, and he will be down near the first down marker. Looks like the line to gain is the 39.5, and they spot the ball at the 40. So it'll be 3rd and inches coming up now for the Cardinals. And I say you give it back to your tailback in the backfield there, although you see the 4 down linemen for the Cougars pinching the middle. We'll see if they creep in here on 3rd and inches. There's the handoff to Brooks. Brooks with a stutter step, lowers his shoulder and makes his way through the gap. He'll pick up a new set of downs.
The only thing, I mean, if Brighton can stick to this attack right here and then they can get the air game going as well, because we know they can have success with that, they can easily cut this gap right here, but they need to start moving with a sense of urgency as we're winding down to the last minute of the third quarter.
Sticking with the 2 wide receiver set, Newsom at the top, Davis at the bottom. Looking to throw, points to Newsom. Newsom caught at the 30-yard line, and he will be dropped at the, looks like the 26, maybe the 27. But he got some great yardage there on the first down throw, so it'll be a 2nd and short opportunity coming up now for the Cardinals. And they're not wasting any time, Ryan. They're getting right back on the ball with under a minute left to play.
They need to, and they need to take a shot right here. I mean, they're well within inside. 2nd and 2 is a great opportunity to do that.
Here's a handoff to Brooks. Brooks will run it right up the gut. I think he got the first down. He did. Just shy of the 20-yard line. He'll be stopped at the 21, but a new set of downs coming up for the Cardinals. That stops the clock with 34 seconds to play in the third quarter.
This is the most composed we've seen Brighton so far offensively. They're able to come out, and they have definitely some momentum on their side. They need to get 7 points right here.
Yeah, this is the 8th play of this drive. They've had the ball for nearly 4 minutes here in the third quarter. Rolling out on play action. Threw it into traffic, and it's picked off at the 30, the 35, the 40. Still on his feet down the near sideline, cutting back to the middle of the field. At the 40, tripped up by one of the Brighton Cardinals, but it is an interception for Jesse Savage.
We called his name in the first half, and we told you that this kid, whenever we saw them play against Millington when we were here, he really contributed a lot. He had a couple picks in that game, and then you also see him on punt return. He's really an explosive sophomore for Munford. As you see right here, they're rolling out to the near side and just undercut that route. He got it about the 18. He took it all the way into Cardinal territory, but it looks like we've got a block in the back. So Munford right here, as you see, Savage brought down by his coattails.
Yeah, what a block he caught there at the end of that run as well. So, yeah, the penalty occurs after the interception. As Ryan mentioned, it was a block in the back, so that big return after that interception is negated, but it's still Cougar football, and they will have it here at the end of the third quarter and moving into the fourth. There's only 3 seconds remaining here in the third, so time for one more play before we head to the fourth and final quarter. Munford on their own 33-yard line. 2 wide receivers, 1 on either side for Adele. Hawkins goes in motion. There's the handoff right up the gut. And Robertson will run out the clock in the third quarter, and we're headed to the fourth. After a 3-yard pickup, it'll be 2nd and 7 for the Munford Cougars with a 20-point lead over the Brighton Cardinals as we head to the fourth quarter. 27-7 is the score. We're back with more action here on Tubetown right after this, live local from Ritter Communications.
Life doesn't always go as planned. So when a power surge affects your TV, or a breakfast mishap takes out your laptop, Guardware multi-device protection gives you peace of mind, knowing your devices will be repaired or replaced with just one call, and without breaking the bank. Protection you can trust. Guardware from Ritter. Enroll today to keep what matters most protected tomorrow.
Andy Maness and Ryan Short welcome you back to Dr. Sid Witherington Stadium as we get set to start the fourth quarter between these two conference rivals. 27-7 is the score. The Munford Cougars ahead of the Brighton Cardinals as the two teams make their way back out on the field. It'll be Cougar football, and it will be 2nd and 7 when the two teams line up to get started. Fast-moving first two quarters and a fast-moving third quarter now as we're beginning the fourth. Adale ready to go. 5 down linemen again coming from the Cardinals. Hawkins goes in motion. They hand it off to Robertson right up the gut. He's across the 40-yard line, picking up another 4 yards for the Cougars. It'll be 3rd and short now coming up after this. A man running off the field. That looks like Preston Hayes making his way off. Cardinals have had, seems like, all the wind knocked out of their sails after that interception to end the third quarter. Had a great 8-play drive going on and another turnover to end it. Oh, and they're showing
Almost
blitz here.
Right there.
Yeah, they're showing blitz. Everybody's creeping in, and she saw Hawkins fake the motion, and now head back to the far side. Adale looks like he changed the play. Now motion on the other side. On the keeper, Adale ran right into the defense. And
ran into the defense, into the back of his own player, and ended up losing his footing. I went down to the field before the game in conditions. I mean, it was not super wet by any means, but just enough moisture on the ground to keep the grass glued to your shoes. But you can tell the center of the field, it's taking most of the damage, and traction is getting pretty tough out now.
Yeah, especially right there in the middle of the field. You're right about that. 10:30 and counting, 4th and 4 coming up for the Cougars. They got their offense out on the field. They're going to go for it.
He's waiting on the back judge to raise his arm up and count on the left. Here he goes. We got 5 seconds left in the clock as the back judge starts lowering his hand.
There's the handoff. And it'll be a turnover on downs as Munford could not convert there on 4th, and a Brighton Cardinal looks like he's a bit slow getting up off the field, but he'll get up and make his way off as the Cardinal offense comes back out here after the turnover on downs.
Interesting play call right there. I mean, you're up 20. You think just go ahead and punt the ball away and play the field position game, because last time Brighton was on the field, if it wasn't for the pick, they would have had a score of their own right there to cut the deficit in half. But nevertheless, Brighton football.
Yeah, still a lot of time left in this football game as Johnson throws on 1st down. Too tall for his intended receiver, trying to get a hold of Keontae Newsome in the middle of the field. And again, had to throw that one on the run and just missed his target.
But second and 10, it's weird to say that, but considering how most of their second down plays have had to been drawn up with 2nd and 15 or more, not in a terrible spot right here.
2 wide receivers on the far side, 1 lined up here on the near side. A bit of a different look here for the Cardinals. Play action, looking to throw again over the middle. Caught by Newsome at the 25-yard line, dragging 2 defenders down to the 20. The Cardinals will pick up more than enough for the 1st down, and they're already headed to get back on top of the football.
Nice little slant right here by Newsome to be able to basically carry a defender another 5 yards down the field, and 22-yard pickup.
Let's see if they run it again. Newsome lined up in the slot this time. Nope, they're going to hand it off to Williamson. Williamson makes his way to the 15-yard line, bowled over 1 defender, and he will be close to picking up another 1st down, but it'll be 2nd and I believe 2 now coming up as they're inside the 15. Take another look as Williamson just lowers his shoulder there, right there at the end, and pulled over the defender. My goodness,
his grandparents felt that one.
That's a big boy run. Now Andrew Brooks in the backfield, standing to the right of Johnson. 4 wide receivers. Johnson looking to throw, facing pressure. He gets sacked at the 22-yard line.
Carson Robertson in there on the tackle, putting the quarterback on his back. And just when we thought they had some momentum going, second and manageable, now backs them up. It's going to be 3rd and 11, excuse me.
Brighton already back on top of it with 8:45 left to play here in this one. And now the referee is going to stand over the football while the substitutes get off the field. So Munford gets a chance to substitute as Brighton had some subs come on. Now here we go, 3rd and 11. 2 wide receivers on the far side, 1 on the near side. Johnson looking to throw, rolling out to his left, got a man at the 15. And he will be driven out of bounds at about the 12-yard line. Catch made by Tyler Burnett, and Burnett just kept his feet rolling and pushed the defender, had the defender from Munford backpedaling the whole way.
4th and 2 right here, and you know Brighton's offense is staying on the field. They really needed to convert right here.
Andrew Brooks will be in the backfield. 3 wide receivers on the near side. Keontae Newsome, the lone wide receiver on the far side, and a timeout is going to be called by the Munford Cougars. That's their 2nd timeout here in the second half. Clock still rolling at 7:55. Clock still rolling at 7:53.
They'll get that.
I think they're going to.
Batteries maybe dead again?
Yeah, I think they're going to get that fixed, but either way, timeout called out on the field. Again, Munford with 1 remaining. Brighton still has all 3 of theirs as they trail by 20 points. 7:53 left to play here in the ball game. Munford able to take off about 2 minutes of game time to start this 4th quarter. And now the Brighton Cardinals working on 3 minutes possession time here in the 4th.
You don't want to say that this drive or this play right here is the ball game, but if Brighton has any chance to making some type of comeback, you really need to you need to walk away with this with at least points. Either way, if you get a touchdown and cut it to a 2-score game, you have a chance, but you're really going to be leaning on your defense either way to get more stops down the stretch.
Big play coming up here for the Brighton Cardinals. Got to convert, got to find the end zone. If they find the end zone, it's a new look at a ball game here, even though they might trail by 3 scores. Three wide receivers. Johnson takes the snap, hands it off to Brooks. Brooks at the 10, at the 5. He's got the first down, trying to find the end zone, reaching for the pylon. He got it. Andrew Brooks, with a grown man run, will find the end zone for the Brighton Cardinals.
You can tell as soon as he broke that in, he knew that he had a chance to get in the end zone, and he wasn't going to be denied. As soon as he got around that corner, he just carried one defender with him into the end zone, reaching out for the pylon right there, and we're a PAT away. I mean, I guess since the Cougars missed that PAT earlier, where it's now a 2-score game. As you see right here coming out, meet him in the hole. Just kept driving his leg and diving for that at the last second.
Oh,
if there is official.
His foot might have been out at the 2. That extra point is up and good. So it is now just a 13-point ball game. 27-14 is the score. Cougars still leading, but Cardinals finding the end zone with 7:46 left to play on this touchdown rush from Brooks.
How much bandwidth will satisfy your home's hunger? The average household now has more wireless devices in use a day than ever before, including TVs, laptops, tablets, and smartphones. HD streaming and gaming can use large amounts of data and slow down speeds for other users. The more devices you use, the more bandwidth your home needs. So make sure you have enough bandwidth. Get up to 100 megs with internet from Ritter Communications. It's the speed you need to power all your devices. Call today.
Yes, Ryan Short, welcome you back to Munford, where the Cougars have just surrendered another touchdown to the Brighton Cardinals. A 12-yard touchdown rush from Andrew Brooks. They hit the extra point, and now with 7:46 left to play in the ballgame, the Brighton Cardinals got to play a little bit of defense, trailing by 13.
Notice who's out to take the kick right now. That's Cannon Clark, the guy we were talking about in between halftime that
Here's the onside kick attempt. It'll go the distance. Cardinals trying to chase it down, but it's the Cougars who will fall on top of it at about the 33-yard line. Kind of surprised that the Cougars let that one roll as far as they did.
Yeah, kind of got the best of both worlds. You had a chance for an onside recovery there, and it just kept rolling end over end, and now Munford, you would think after an onside attempt, you would have pretty rough field position, but they're starting at their own, what do they got it marked at, about 34?
34-yard line is where they've spotted the football, and again, the Cardinals have all 3 timeouts. Munford down to 1, but they also have a 13-point lead here with 7:43 left to play in the ball game. Adale comes back out under center. And Brighton already looking to bring the pressure here on 1st and 10. There's the motion. They hand off to Robertson. Robertson running right up the gut. Will pick up about a yard. Adale got tripped up in the backfield by one of the Cardinal defenders who thought he had the football. So I don't want to say it's necessarily a cheap shot because it was an option play, but it's pretty evident that Adale didn't have the football when he took that hit.
You got to expect that with this Munford offense, that you're gonna make sure someone's on the ground and they're down before you really check to see if they have the ball or not.
It was a 3-yard pickup on 1st down for Robertson, so 2nd and 7 now coming up, nearing the 7-minute mark. Ball spotted at the Munford 36-yard line. Man goes in motion. They fake the handoff. Adale keeps it himself. Down to the 40-yard line, picking up another 3 yards. So 3rd and manageable coming up now after Adale keeps it on the ground himself.
And after we saw them go for it on 4th down in similar distance, if Brighton is able to come up with a stop, I'm not convinced that Munford wouldn't leave their offense on the field and try to go for it.
Yeah, again, if Munford is able to keep the football away from Brighton much longer, they could be driving the nail into the coffin. As again, Brighton's going to have to score twice. We'll see if they can stop them here on 3rd and 2. And Adale will likely wait on the play clock to tick all the way down. He's staring at the back official who's keeping time. And now he gives the signal. Time's running out. There's the snap. Robertson right up the gut himself, and I don't think he got it. It looked like he got stopped about a yard shy.
They met him right at the line of scrimmage, and big number 50 for Brighton. We've been calling his name already tonight. Tyler Bridges, the big defensive lineman, was able to get in there and put a stop to it.
Yeah, watch big 50.
Just grab and wrap him up and sit on him. Wow, they gave it to him. 1st down.
So they moved the chains. They didn't even bother measuring that or anything.
Generous spot right there.
It looked like they stopped him short. 1st and 10 coming up, and I think some of the people in the press box agree with us. They are surprised there wasn't a measurement. Here's the handoff on the end around. The jet sweep down the far sideline at the 40, the 35-30, and stepped out of bounds did the Munford Cougars, but not before Lamarius Payne picks up big yardage on 1st and 10. And we have a flag out on the field. This one might be coming back. They are bringing this one back. I haven't seen a signal from an official yet, but this has got to be holding, right? It was holding. Holding on the Cougars will erase that big run. That was probably a good 35-yard pickup on the ground there by Lamarius Payne on the jet sweep.
Watch here on the outside, receiver on the far side blocking against right there. They just pulled his shoulder around enough to call the flag. The block was on Newsom that ended up pushing the back out of bounds, but what would turn into a very nice 1st down play. He's going to back them up 1st and 18 now.
Ball spotted at the 35-yard line. See if they keep it on the ground as they have the whole game. They do. Adale fakes the option. Oh, and he got fell on top of at the end of that play, and he is not looking good after you see him come up holding his wrist there. It looked like he had the ball underneath him, his hands underneath the ball, and a defender fell right on top of his back.
Yeah, he's going to be feeling quite a few injuries tomorrow. Hopefully we're going to be able to recover, but you can see right here.
Watch at the very end of this play right there. Oh,
Yeah.
goodness.
Just the body weight of another person on you.
So a 2-yard pickup there on first down means 2nd and 16 coming up from the 37-yard line. 4:35 left to play in this ball game. Time running out for the Cardinals. There's another jet sweep handoff to Payne, and Payne slips up before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Trying to turn the corner over there on the far side of the field and just planted his foot and fell.
So right now, 3rd and 16. I'm sure the Munford Cougars are going to run out the play clock, that is, these next 2 plays. So barring that anything crazy and wild happens, which, I mean, we're accustomed to seeing, but Brighton should get the ball back with about 2:45, 3 minutes left in the ball game, and they'll have to be operating very quick.
They still have all 3 timeouts. Munford down to 1. Adale changing the play up here on 3rd and 16. Again, the ball on their own 37-yard line. Brighton bringing pressure. Play action, looking to throw. Pump fake, Adale scrambling, still trying to throw. Sets his feet, cuts back the other way. Fires in the vicinity of no one. And looks like he got it past the line of scrimmage. He was definitely outside of the tackle box, so they're not going to call intentional grounding here.
I think he had a back in the area. They may have been trying to set up like a backdoor screen play, see if there was anybody that was lagging behind. It looked like there was a back in the area that he just threw it right over the top of their head.
Yeah, threw it as he got hit. Great job scrambling.
Took a big hit when he released it as well.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It was a great job scrambling, trying to keep the play alive. But now 4th and 16 coming up. And the punt team is on the field for Munford. Again, if Brighton can score quickly and get the ball back somehow, then they could come out on top of this ball game here.
It's crazy to see how aggressive Munford has been offensively, even though they're up 2 scores.
Punt will roll down to the 30-yard line. Newsom is just going to let it die right there. And they will come out with 27 seconds remaining, or excuse me, 3:34 remaining, ball on the 27-yard line.
We're going to have another penalty on this near side, just unnecessary. Brighton was coming down the field, and I think that was Sam Dunlap that had a block in the back that had nothing to do with the play, and Brighton's going to be backed up another 10 to 15 yards if that's the call.
Waiting on the call from the official here. And there it is, a blindside block again.
Okay.
3:34 to play in the ball game, and Brighton not doing themselves any favor. I believe that's their 6th penalty of the night.
All right, now's the time to do it. They're either going to be able to get the ball going down the field, or this is usually where you get pretty aggressive. So hopefully they can remain possession.
Yeah, Johnson rolls out, fires, caught at the 25-yard line. I think that was Newsom on the reception, and a flag is dropped right where the tackle occurred. Far sideline official threw a flag, and looks like he's saying face mask towards the Cougars.
But in the meantime, if you're Brighton, that stops the clock for you in the free 15 yards. So they're as quick as they've been moving. I'm sure as soon as they get this ball spotted, they're going to be right back on top of it.
And that's added to the end of that run as well. So that'll put them back near where they would have had the football, actually past where they would have had the football before that block in the back. 4 wide receivers for Johnson, 1 back in the backfield. Low snap, had to pick it up off the ground. Turns around, throwing the other way now. It's a screen. Davis catches it. He's at the 45-yard line, gets a little push from behind, and I think he's got enough to get the first down. Solomon Davis on what looked to be a busted play at first, but now I guess it was a design screen play. Now Davis holding that left calf of his, hopefully just a cramp. But he tried to get up and walk it off, and now he is getting some assistance here. And I think it is a cramp because he's trying to get some assistance to get up off the field here. And you see the trainer stretching his foot out there, and that appears to be what it is, just a cramp.
But On that last play, the botch snap going to the left, as you see right here, it kind of, I think that was a design screenplay, and the botch snap kind of aided in the deke to the near side because everyone thought it was just busted, and the awareness that Johnson had to pick it up and know that that screenplay was developing on the far side kind of just released it on a prayer and picked up a first down.
So Johnson makes his way off the field. Clock stopped at 3:04 here in the fourth quarter. 4 wide receivers. Brooks standing to the left of Johnson. He's ready for the snap. There it is. Rolling to his left. Throwing it over the head of his intended receiver. Trying to get out there and get with Tyler Burnett. But again, threw it a bit too tall for him. Still a very catchable ball, though, for Tyler Burnett. Should have had that one and been headed out of bounds there.
That's multiple times tonight we've seen Johnson roll to the left, throwing across his body, and he's delivered passes that were catchable, but not necessarily right where he was intending them to go. It's really curious. I wonder if he's more comfortable rolling to that side of the field, or if it's just play call because they've got more green space to work with over here.
Trying to set up a screen, but instead they're going to take a shot down the field for Newsom. Newsom caught it inside the 10-yard line. And he is stopped at the 5. What a pitch and catch from Nick Johnson to Keontae Newsom.
Golly, that ball traveled 45 yards in the air. If you look here, pump, screen on the far side, got the corner to bite, and then that gave him just enough space to make that catch and reel it in. Great concentration right there by Newsom to be able to bring it in.
Yeah, Solomon Davis ran a little hitch route. Here's a fade route into the end zone that if Newsom had been ready for that pass and had his body turned, that'd be 6 points.
And you like the clock management they've had on this drive. That big play obviously helps, but they've only had the ball for a minute on the game clock so far in this possession, this drive.
They took over with 3:34 to play in the ball game and have since marched it down the field from their own 14. Second and goal coming up from the 5.
All
after
3 timeouts as well, Andy.
Yeah, after that incompletion. And Ryan's right. Still got plenty of chances to stop the clock if they can score here. Looking to throw. Tosses into the end zone. Caught at the goal line. Touchdown, Cardinals. And again, it's Solomon Davis with another reception. The senior brings his Cardinals to within 7. And now we've got a stoppage in play. A flag is down shy of the goal line. Personal foul, hands to the face, and that's probably going to go against the offense. It is.
Wow.
So the Cardinals have a touchdown erased here with 2:23 left to play in the ball game. Talk about shooting yourself in the foot. My goodness. Trying to find that where that happened, but I didn't see it happen anywhere.
I didn't see it there either, Andy. Man.
Oh,
it's still
my
second down,
goodness.
though. It's second down and goal from the 25, but it's second and goal.
Coach Robin Jacobs has got his headset off now. He's pointing at the head official. He wants to know what's going on. He is arguing with the white hat right now.
Solomon Davis coming back on the field. That's good.
Yeah, how about that? Davis makes a catch, gets a first down, goes off with a cramp, comes back to catch a touchdown. But unfortunately, that touchdown has been negated, and they will back up.
Oh, man. Where was the ball? At the 5. Mark it off. Marked off like 20
Yeah,
yards.
they did. They took it all the way back to the 27, and I think Coach Jacobs was like, what are you doing?
But they're doing it from the start of 7, 8, 9. So they had marked it off further back, and it was actually from the spot of the foul. So nevertheless.
So now it'll be second and goal from the 24-yard line. Got to find the goal line here on the next 2 plays. Johnson looking to throw again. Taking a shot towards the end zone.
Pass interference.
And a flag thrown as that looks like, I believe, Ryan, I don't know if you're in agreement, that's going to go on the Cougars because it looks like they were holding Newsom up from running into the end zone.
Yeah, it's either going to be pass interference or holding one because they definitely were preventing him from getting into the air to make a catch on the ball.
And that ball was catchable.
So The hands to the face negates the touchdown, but ultimately they're going to get the ball right back where they started.
Yep,
Hopefully they're going to be able to knock it in like they did a second ago.
Yeah, there's the call from the head official. So I think both teams, from my count, unless I've missed one, 7 penalties on either side here.
I believe you're correct, sir.
Again, a lot on the line here tonight. Winner goes on to make the playoffs. 2nd and goal from the 12. Low snap. Johnson fields it. Looking to throw. Avoids a sack. Now he's going to run with it. Tosses to the end zone. Touchdown Cardinals. And guess who? It's Solomon Davis once again.
Do not see any laundry on the field, so that one's going to stand this time. A little bit of time runs off the clock, but ultimately it's the same result. Johnson hitting Davis in the back as you see him evade a tackle here. He thought he was going to scramble for it at first, but had Solomon break open and see him hurdling an imaginary defender as he's celebrating, and they've now cut this to a 1-score game.
Yeah, the extra point. We've got a Cougar down out on the field who looks like he's getting a cramp stretched out now. And I wonder, is that Jay-Sean Adel? Because I don't see him standing here on the near sideline.
I see those pink leggings, so I'm thinking that's him.
No, I don't know. I know he had his left ankle taped up in pink. His right ankle I can't see. I think that is Jay-Sean Adel.
On the near side right here.
Okay, not Jay-Sean Adel then. So quarterback's still here on the sideline. We're awaiting the extra point after that touchdown from Nick Johnson to Solomon Davis. That is the 2nd connection that they've had here tonight for a touchdown. They had one back to start the 2nd quarter, and now a very timely one coming here at the end of the 4th. Still have to hit the extra point and then still have to get the ball back. But, Ryan, you mentioned a moment ago, Cardinals still have all 3 timeouts.
These last 2 defensive stops they've had, you would seem to be really promising that they found some sort of answer for Munford.
Cannon Clark on to attempt the extra point. There's the snap, the hold, kick is up, and it goes through the uprights. So, a 6-point ball game on our hands, 27-21. The Cardinals score a touchdown with 1:53 to play in the 4th quarter. Things are getting tight here in Munford. We're back with the kickoff right after this here on Tubetown. Live local from Ritter Communications.
It's very important here that they get the onside kick. They do not want to give the ball back to.
No matter what kind of business you own or operate, you need to keep it connected. Ritter Communications delivers the fastest business internet speeds available at a price that won't slow you down. Ritter offers reliable 24-hour service with network monitoring, along with the scalable options your business needs to grow. And we do it all on our own fiber optic network. The choice is yours, and so is the savings. Connect to something better. Call or visit ritterbusiness.com today.
We'll welcome you back to Dr. Sid Witherington Stadium here in Munford. Andy Maness and Ryan Short with you. With 1:53 to play in the 4th quarter, the Brighton Cardinals have just scored a 12-yard touchdown reception from Nick Johnson to Solomon Davis, and now trailing by just 6 points, the Cardinals. Let's see if they get an onside kick attempt. There it is. Ball is touched by the Cougars. It might be loose. Did the Cardinals fall on top of that? Still waiting for the signal from the official. Brighton says they have it. Munford says they have it.
We're waiting on the stripes. They'll tell you who's got it.
It's going to be Munford football.
Wow.
Woo, the Cardinals with a chance to fall on top of that one, but the Cougars catching a break as they fall on top of that onside kick, but they barely got to it, as you'll see here on the Ritter Communications replay. There's the initial touch, and then right there, I think the Cougar who first touched it was Toby Hurd, and I think he was the one to come up with the football ultimately for Munford. So now the Cougars come out on offense. The Brighton Cardinals, Ryan, have 1 minute 42 seconds to stop them and 3 timeouts. Here come the Cougars, ready to go on 1st and 10 from their own 38. Even with the onside kick, still Brighton's got them backed up where they wanted to be.
Last timeout burned by Munford right before the delay game.
Yeah, the flag came flying out, and we're going to see if he got the timeout off, and he did. As Ryan said, the last timeout called for the Munford Cougars. And again, the Brighton Cardinals still have all 3 of theirs remaining.
Yeah, this should be a 30-second timeout, and if you're Brighton right now, if you take a look at just the stats on how this game has gone so far, you have to be absolutely ecstatic that you're only down 6 points, and with a defensive stop, you're going to have a chance to win the ball game. Basically, if Munford gets a first down, this game is essentially over. But Brighton, if they can come out, get a stop, burn their timeouts, get the ball back, that they definitely have the chances we've seen here in the fourth quarter and late stages of the third quarter that they've really lit a fire under their offense and have been able to get the ball going down the field.
Yeah, they've scored twice here in the fourth quarter. Can they get the ball back and score a third time? 1st and 10 from their own 38. Both teams back out on the field and ready to go after the Cougars called their final timeout. Again, Brighton still has all 3 of theirs remaining, and now we're ready for play. Hawkins goes in motion. Adale on the keeper, breaks away across the 50, the 45, tripped up just shy of the 40, but a big pickup on first down from Jay-Sean Adale.
Good 20-yard pickup right here. You see the play that they've had so much success with tonight, faking it up the middle of Noah, and he just goes around that left side. He's 10 yards down the field before anybody even gets a hand on him, so falls forward, and it looks like Brighton's going to hold on to those timeouts for now.
Well, and you said it earlier in tonight's football game, even with the speed that we've seen out of Adale tonight, it still looks like he's not 100% running out there. Imagine how fast he'd be if he was at 100%. 1st and 10 from the Brighton 48-yard line. 1:05 left to play in the ball game. He's going to wait till the last second to snap it. There's the snap. Robertson.
False start.
And we're going to get a false start, on the Cougars.
So under a minute left. I mean, you have to be calling a timeout as soon as you get Munford stopped. First down, ball game's over.
So it'll be 1st and 15 now after the penalty.
It's been interesting, too, Brighton's defensive strategies. They usually have a safety that plays a little bit further off the ball before it's snapped, depending on what's the strong side for Munford. So I wonder if they're going to load the box up right here and get 9 or 10 hats in on it.
And now Coach Jacobs, he calls a timeout, but he's complaining about the clock.
15 seconds ran off.
Yeah, the clock continuing to run after the penalty. So he calls his first timeout, and he's livid about the clock continuing to run. See the head official there giving an explanation.
They were out of timeouts. It's Brighton that they have not taken it off the board yet, off the scoreboard. But
so now after some clarification here, we'll see if they put any more time back on the clock. Officials discussing some things. Now the head official has to come over here and relay the information to Coach Markle. There it is from the head official. He wants 54 seconds put back on the clock here before we get things rolling. And now we've got a coach here at the 35-yard line who's needing an explanation.
Okay, that's as far as the play clock and the game clock has been concerned, it's something we've noticed all game. So not to be surprised that it's taken effect here at the end as well.
Run right up the middle for Adale. Got about 4 yards there. 2nd and 12 coming up, and now with 46 seconds remaining, they will call a timeout.
I'm sure all of these going forward are just going to be 30-second timeouts that they're going to.
Well, and I don't know if – I wonder if that timeout they called a minute ago counts. I believe it does. They took it off the board, so by that count, they only have one remaining.
boy, I'm telling you, with just one timeout remaining, it's going to be
Not sure if
difficult.
we haven't had any You saw the head official over there look over there and hold 2 fingers up, so I'm not sure if he charged Brighton with that timeout from earlier.
Well, they
like to get some clarification
They
here,
shouldn't have, because the clock should have stopped after the penalty.
But it will be down at the very bottom of that clock with 46.4 to go.
If Brighton has only 1 timeout left, there's no chance that they can come back and win. And there's not a chance. The game's over. It's all contingent on how many timeouts, and we're assuming right now that Brighton has 2.
Yeah.
That's what I assume.
Well, you almost have to assume they have 1 because they've taken it off the scoreboard. We'll see. Here we go. 2nd and 11 coming up. 46 seconds left to play in the ball game. Adale will hand it off to Robertson. Right up the gut. No, Adale keeps it himself. Breaks free to the 35-yard line. And it will be 3rd and short coming up. Clock is now stopped at 39 seconds as Munford has called a timeout, potentially their final timeout, but one of the coaches coming out to talk to the huddle out here. I believe I just heard the referee say that Cardinals had 1 timeout left.
It all comes down to this right here. 3rd and about 2 yards. It wouldn't make sense for them to do anything right here, but a QB sneaker just handed up to Noah right up the middle, because that seems to be working all night.
Absolutely. Between Jayshon Adale and Noah Robertson, they have been able to pick up 3-yard chunks at a time all night long.
So far in this half, the Cougars have ran 24 plays from the line of scrimmage. 22 of those, Adale or Noah, on either one of them.
Here we go, 3rd and 2. One of the biggest plays of the ball game. Can the Cardinals come up with a stop? Can the Cougars get a first down? False start, I think, going to be called. Nope. Did they call a timeout?
Yeah.
No, that's a false start.
Offsides against the Cougars, it looks like.
They're going to call false start on Munford, so they'll back it up 5 yards, and it'll be 3rd and 7.
7. That makes everything so much more interesting, man.
Yeah, 3rd and 2 is not really, it hasn't really been anything for the Cougars to pick up all night, but you're absolutely right. 3rd and 7, a completely different ball game here.
That's their 7th penalty so far this half for Munford.
Here we go. Lined up on the football, ready to snap it. Brighton showing pressure. A man goes in motion. A handoff to Robertson. No, Adale again keeps it himself. Diving for the first down marker. One referee has got him spotted short. The other one's got him spotted past it. Are they going to measure this? Clock is stopped with 31 seconds to play. They're going to stop this one to measure it.
Here we go. All comes down to the tape measure. I mean, 31 seconds left. Obviously, Brighton would still have to march the ball down the field, but if you want to have any last-minute theatrics, you got to have a stop right here.
So they're actually not going to measure it. They're just going to call it 4th and 1.
Okay.
And so the Cardinals have called their final timeout. Clock is stopped with 31.7 seconds remaining. A turnover on downs here gives the Cardinals a chance. If not, ball game's over.
We've seen them come out time and time again and run a hard count to see how the defense is lined up. So watch Adale's head, watch the center's head, watch all of the movements right here, because as many false starts as they've had here in the last 2 drives, it could easily been induced by another one.
Could be one of the final plays of the game. Let's see what's going on here on 4th and 1. Adale takes it ahead. He's got the first down. That should do it. 24 seconds remain here in the ball game, and that's enough time that the Cougars do not have to run another play. So the Brighton Cardinals, you can tell by their hands on their hips, that's going to do it. So the Munford Cougars will finish their year with a win, and they're going to be headed to the playoffs. They are going to finish the year 6-4, 4-3 in conference play. And again, they'll be headed to the playoffs next week to face Henry County. A big win tonight for Coach Nick Markle and the Munford Cougars. Some celebration going on here in the press box. The fans are celebrating, as are the Munford Cougars. And it was a hard-fought battle, but they come away with a victory tonight over the Brighton Cardinals. Again, your final score, 27-21. We're going to go ahead and step aside for a quick break. We'll come back and put a bow on this one and send everybody home happy, at least everybody that's wearing Munford Cougar gray and red. Brighton Cardinals got a short but unhappy bus ride home. We're back right after this on Tubetown, live local from Ritter Communications.
911, what's your emergency?
I'm home alone. Someone is trying to get in the back door.
Find a safe place like in a closet or under a bed, okay?
Okay.
Be very quiet and don't worry. Your home phone gave me your location.
Hurry.
Help is on the way.
Only a dedicated home phone can quickly pinpoint your address for emergency personnel. Cell phones can't. Keep your loved ones safe for less than 60 cents a day with a home phone from Ritter. Call today or go to rittercommunications.com.
To Dr. Sid Witherington Stadium, where the Munford Cougars are celebrating this Friday night. They have just made it into the playoffs following a victory over the Brighton Cardinals 27-21, as you see the students and the football team take the field to celebrate. Great game to be a part of tonight. And, man, if you're the Brighton Cardinals, that is a tough way to lose a football game.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. But stepping away from this game, looking at the scorebook, looking at just how the game was handled, except for probably the last 10 minutes of the fourth quarter, Munford was in control of this game. They definitely handled it defensively and offensively, and you walk away from this seeing a good football game in Munford, Tennessee, but I think the team that was better suited to win definitely walked away with the W.
Yeah, you see the students joining the football team now, celebrating this win. Senior night ends in celebration here in Munford with this 27-21 victory. You know, if you are the Brighton Cardinals, you got to look at what you got coming back next year. I mean, you're going to have Nick Johnson as a senior. From what we saw out of him tonight, I mean, I think you can expect some good things. And then two other players that we called their name quite a bit. Joe Williamson, the tailback, he's going to be a senior next year, as is Keontae Newsome. These guys are only going to get bigger.
Yeah, bigger and better. So, I mean, this year definitely didn't pan out how Brighton had planned, but they get to take this year as a learning experience and be able to transition that into the offseason and bounce back in 2019-2020 season.
Yep, they'll fall to a record and finish the season at 3-7, 3-4 in conference play. And as I mentioned, the Munford Cougars now 6-4 on the year, and they finish the conference season with a 4-3 record. Again, they'll face Henry County in the playoffs next week as the celebration still continues. And again, the Cougars got a little bit of a monkey off their back here, as they haven't beaten the Brighton Cardinals since back in 2014.
They came out tonight with 319 rushing yards, all of those on the ground, and we've said his name over and over tonight, Jay-Sean Adel. 22 attempts on the ground, 248 yards and 4 TDs. I don't know if you had him on your fantasy team or not, but if you did, if there's a high school fantasy out there, he would be the man to have.
No doubt about it. So congratulations to the Cougars. Good luck to them next week. As for us here on Tubetown, we're wrapping up our regular season next week with a flex game. We're going to let you know sometime next week where we are going to be. We have got a gambit of great games ahead of us next week. We've got to sit down and as a team figure out which one we want to bring to you guys. We certainly appreciate you hanging with us all season here on Tubetown. We hope you will join us next Friday night for our regular season finale. Again, wrapping things up here in Munford, a final score 27-21. The Munford Cougars defeat the Brighton Cardinals to head to the playoffs. Big thanks to everybody who made tonight's game possible, all of our camera operators and all the guys working in the truck. And of course, don't forget about our great sponsors as well. For Ryan Short, I'm Andy Maness saying so long. You guys have a great, safe Friday night. God bless.